Didn't feel that. No! Ow!
Oh my God.
Ow! Whoa! That'll wake you up in the morning, baby. Guys, I can tell you right now.
Guys are so
ready for
nuts.
baseball. This is
Boys.
watermelon hail.
Hello, everyone. We will be starting shortly.
Doesn't look like it may not be on the ground right now, so Dick Worsham. Dude, I can't. I just can't with that name.
All right, Brady's taking over. You got double. Check this out, guys. Double stream. We're streaming the stream.
How are you doing tonight, Phoenix of the Gods?
Doing good.
Oh my! Not what I was saying.
Oh man. Oh gosh.
Does anybody else hear that?
What?
There's your storm right there. There's your storm.
No, there's
Don't
There's
tell-
your Vince.
echoing noise again.
Storm.
Echoing. Wait, what do you mean?
Storm. Vince. I don't know, guys.
Well, then, do we hear it?
This is pretty good. What do you guys
Wait,
think? Let me
was
know
it?
in
Is
the
it
chat.
like this? The
Vince?
stream of like the whatever it's called, where we did the.
Again.
Really, I really hope it doesn't happen again. I'm not looking forward
It just sounds like a robot voice talking every like 10 seconds. It's none of my stuff.
to it. I mean, if it's anything.
The area
All
of
right, we're
greatest
gonna kick
concern
things off
that
here
I have
rather shortly,
is,
guys. Give
is
me one
right
second,
just to the south of downtown
one
Westerville.
last
That's
thing.
moving over top of you guys right now as we speak. This is if we get really granular. I was looking at a house
All
here
right.
yesterday to buy. So this is an area that is close to home for me. I have family that lives here. I have family that lives out in New Albany. I have friends that live all over this place. So that's, I guess.
Yeah, all right, let's kick this off. In a world where tornadoes and hurricanes and blizzards run rampant, destroying everything in their path, one man
No!
and one team of freaks stands in their way, covering it all on one show.
We have a confirmed tornado.
From afar and from up close. That man is STORMCAT 5. That team is the Stormfront Freaks. And that show, this show, is Outbreak. And Outbreak starts. Welcome, everyone. 10. Got
9,
fires and Winter Storm today.
8,
We'll
7,
cover Winter Storm first and then go to the
6,
fires. It's been a crazy
5,
24 hours.
4, 3, 2, 1, now.
All right, everyone, welcome to the stream today. We have a packed show for you today. We're going to be covering the California wildfires on top of the ongoing winter storm. That those two are actually related. We're going to show you how those two are related. We've got a packed house today. We've got Storm Chaser Jordan Hall joining us on the road. He's driving down to Dallas. Jordan, first of all, let's start with you, my friend. How's the drive going? And what are you planning on seeing down there in Dallas?
Yeah, we just started our drive from Oklahoma. Still got about 2 hours left, but we're going to see possibly some fairly good snowfall and maybe even some ice in the Dallas metro. So, getting prepared for that.
Oh yeah, it could be a pretty interesting 24 hours, especially if some of the models, some of the trends have actually been bringing the snow back to Dallas with some more wintry precipitation there. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we got a special guest, Sierra, as well joining us. Sierra, welcome to the stream, and it's your first time on the show. How are you liking the drive? Is Jordan a good driver? Is he good? Good to be a co-pilot with.
Hey, yeah, it's happy to join you guys for the first time. I'm sitting in the passenger seat right now, my normal spot in Jordan's RAV. He's a pretty good driver. He's pretty good. We haven't had too many issues out on the road.
Yeah.
I trust him pretty well in snow. I'll say that.
I like it. I like it a lot. Well, there's a little bit of a controversy on the show. For the last time we were on, they had their anniversary, and I went a little bit too long and kept them from Texas de Brazil. So Sierra, I'm sorry about that. I definitely owe you. I owe you and Jordan some what do they even serve there at Texas de Brazil?
So it's like a Brazilian steakhouse. So like these people will come around constantly to your table with just like skewers of like fresh cooked like steak, chicken, sausage, all sorts of stuff. But we did end up going to Texas de Brazil, but I'm not going to turn down a free meal.
Are you kidding? Wow. So Jordan was just trying to get a free meal. I mean, didn't he? There you go, Jordan.
I told you I was joking, bro.
Oh man. But that's cool. So thank you guys for joining us today. We got Jordan and Sierra both on the show. It's a week from their anniversary, so they're headed down to check out that winter storm down there. Now let's check in with Hunter Hurley, who's also joining us today. Hunter, how you doing? And how is your day coming along?
My day's coming along pretty good. Having one of my days off today. It was weird having my work canceled both Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday's my 5th day, so it was weird going back to work for one day and having another 2 days off. But man, that blizzard was awesome. That was really fun. Oh yeah, well, it was more fun for some than others. If you didn't see it on Twitter, go check out Hunter Hurley's Twitter account, because a pretty wild picture of him or a video of him. How that snowbank was like almost like 10 feet high, and you just jumped right in. Yeah, I expected it to be a little bit more powdery, but it was already pretty well snowpacked, so it was almost like hitting cement. But it was fun. It was really fun. Well, Hunter, that's awesome. Glad to have you here, and it looks like you got the fire weather outlook for today, which is not good news, right? Yeah, I mean, this is the same area that's seen 3 extremely critical fire outlooks in the past 6 months, so it's nothing new for them, unfortunately. But this one seems to be the most serious of them all. We've already had towns completely engulfed by fire. I don't know if you were listening to the scanner earlier, but they apparently lost Los Angeles County Fire Station 11 to the fire. Jeez. Wow. Yeah, I think tonight's going to be another long night there. So we're going to take a look at. Hunter's got a lot of good cams that we're looking at. So we're going to do dual coverage here. We're going to cover the winter storm, and then we're also going to cover these several ongoing fires in California. So we'll get to that. But Hunter, that's good stuff there. Let's also get to Dan Wallace here. Dan Wallace is joining us from actually Dallas, Texas. So Dan, you're in a winter storm warning, right?
That's correct. All day today, folks have been making preparations for the incoming winter weather.
Now, what's your preparations? What's your do you have a go-to of hey, I'm going to the store making sure I get the Pop-Tarts, or I'm going to the store making sure I get the fruit snacks? What's your go-to winter storm food?
Well, I can't trust ERCOT will be around for us on this, so I got a lot of canned food in case I don't have anything to cook with.
Oh, all right. You got any SpaghettiOs?
Yeah, maybe a couple.
Oh, okay. All right. See, that was when I went down to Florida. That was the food that I bought for the hurricane. So looks like. But did you go to the store today? Was the store where people just clear out the shelves and everything? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of shelves are cleared, and the storms are really busy.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I would bet. I mean, winter storm. I can't think of. I mean, it's not unheard of that Dallas gets a winter storm warning, but it's been a minute. I think, right, Dan?
Yeah, it's been a few years, but when
Wow.
they hit hard, they really hit hard.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they're going to get hit hard this time. And that's a pretty good segue here. So, Dan, thank you for joining us. We got some people spamming Agent Dan emotes in the chat. I love it. Keep those coming along. We're gonna have to get Jordan and Sierra and Hunter their own emotes as well. That would actually be awesome. But guys, we're gonna start. We're gonna do kind of dual coverage. We're gonna start with the winter storm, and we'll keep an eye on those cams in the top right corner of the screen. That's from Santa Monica, California. That's a live shot there of what's going on with that fire. So we'll take a look at those. First, starting with our winter weather, we have a very impactful system. This is the second winter storm in a matter of 2 weeks, and it is taking shape or taking aim at the south this time, right? So any of the warnings that you see here, we've got winter storm warnings in pink. And let me go ahead and outline those with my nifty drawing tool. We got the winter storm warnings here in pink surrounding that. I mean, look at this map. I mean, this is hundreds of miles of winter weather advisories. With them going all the way up to Jefferson City, and they're not quite in Kansas City, but they go almost up to Kansas City and Topeka, which just got over 1.5 feet of snow in places. And then further off to the east, you've got winter storm warnings. Let's just zoom in on these because we've got winter storm warnings in northern Mississippi that just had a tornado outbreak, and then we've got winter storm watches all the way in portions of northern Georgia. The entire state of Tennessee is under either a winter storm warning or a winter storm watch. So Tennessee is set to get hit pretty hard. And then even portions of Kentucky that just had that ice storm there. You guys are all under those warnings. So a very expansive area of winter storm warnings here and winter storm watches. I do expect a lot of these watches to get extended throughout the day. So that's what we got in terms of warning and watches. Now, Jordan, you're driving through the winter storm warnings right now. Now, I don't think we're going to get any blizzard warnings like the last storm, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have any blizzard warnings or not, but we definitely could see some significant snowfall totals, especially for some fairly populated communities.
Yeah. Yeah, and these are parts of the country. I mean, Dan, just I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but going back from your memory, when was the last time that Dallas had significant or the chance of significant measurable snow?
I believe it was 2021 when we had that winter weather event around middle of February.
Yeah. Wait, was that that was that wasn't the one where Dallas had that huge cold snap, right? I don't think so. That was like a year later, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it's been a while since this part of the country has gotten significant snow. Now, what we're looking at now, this is I'm actually going to go over here. This is the official forecast from the National Weather Service. So going back to Jordan's last point. This is what the National Weather Service is saying our snow totals are going to be, and interestingly enough, they've downtrended throughout the past day. Dallas and Texas in general, they've downtrended the snow totals in response to the models, but they still have a couple of inches, and we'll look at the models in just a second to see okay, how are they trending. And they've actually gone a little bit, some of the models have trended up today. So it'll be interesting to watch if the National Weather Service ups those snow totals or not. Jordan, and Sierra too, from your guys' perspective, you're going down to Dallas. Is your goal to document the heavy snow? Is it to document the ice? Is it to kind of document just how it affects Dallas in general?
Yeah, so typically, we go down there and, just like we do coverage, just like we do in a lot of different forms of weather. It's a little different with snow. It's not as intense as tornado chasing and everything. You get a lot more time to look around and find interesting things to film. But yeah, it's kind of both. We like to do the media side of it, but we also like to capture, really cool video for social media and potentially, documentaries.
Yeah, yeah. Now, is you guys plan to follow the snow as it goes east, or are you guys mostly just going to probably sit in Dallas, watch the storm go, and then continue on and go back?
That honestly just depends on how significant Dallas gets it. I think the biggest I think the biggest goal is to see if we can capture anything with the drone as far as like the initial icing conditions with vehicles losing control on the roadways, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, and just off to your east, the National Weather Service is forecasting 9 inches in central Arkansas. So right now, at least according to the National Weather Service, that is our bullseye here, right in Arkansas, and then even continuing off into Tennessee, guys. We have basically the entire state of Tennessee is projected by the National Weather Service to get at least 4 inches of snow or more. So Tennessee, this is going to be a very impactful storm for you. Nashville, Knoxville, even other cities in Tennessee. This is going to be a big time event for you, and it's going to be enough to probably cripple a lot of travel because those areas. I mean, Dan, you can kind of talk about this, but places like Dallas and Little Rock and Nashville, because they don't get a lot of snow, they don't have a lot of the same snow removal equipment that folks do up north.
Right. I mean, the city of Dallas, I know they've got some equipment to treat the roads, but as for snow removal, a lot of times that'll have to be brought in from West Texas.
Yeah, which is not not necessarily an easy thing to do. And just zooming in to our Texas projections at this point, and keep in mind, guys, this is continually updated from the National Weather Service. So these could change. These could very well change, and we'll have to watch the trends as we go throughout the event right now. But in Dallas, they generally have a couple of inches of snow. Just to the north on the Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas border, they have 6+ inches of snow up there. And then, going even further into Arkansas, where our kind of bullseye of snow is, that's where, at least at this point, the National Weather Service says the most snow with this storm is going to fall. So that is, at least at this particular moment, where the National Weather Service is saying the most snow is going to fall. Now, Hunter, I want to bring you in here. Oh, go ahead. So, Jordan, go ahead. Go, Jordan. Oh, you're on mute.
You lost. Jordan couldn't hear you. I don't know. It says our Starlink's not working too well at the moment. He was telling you to go ahead.
Well, you sound fantastic.
I was just saying that the majority of the snowfall is going to go to the boonies.
The boonies? Wait, where's the boonies? What region is that?
Anywhere in Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah, at least right now, Jordan. At least right now. I mean, some of the models have been trending a little bit more snow for Texas, so we'll hope for that. But I mean, a couple inches, Dan. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the newer models have definitely trended up with Texas, especially that Dallas region. I know the GFS, the Euro, and even the HRRR convective model was uptrending. I was seeing totals anywhere from like 4 to like 8 inches potentially, which if it even got close to 8 inches is a big deal. Even 4 inches is a big deal in that area. So.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that. This is the 18Z HRRR right here, and look at. I mean, if we zoom, let's go ahead and zoom in on Texas here, because to Jordan's point, the trend has been your friend if you do like significant snow. And while I'm pulling that up, I mean, Dan. Even a couple of inches of snow would be enough to be a big time problem in Dallas.
That would likely cripple the city just because a little bit of rain starts to freak people out. So, yeah, anything crawling from the sky scares people.
That's a problem. And guys, just want to say everyone in the chat too, thank you for joining. Michelle Baker says, make the chainsaw noise. I will. How about this? I'll make the chainsaw noise before the end of the stream. not right now. Hunter, from your perspective, you just got this big time snow. Have you been looking at the models today? I know you've been heavily involved with the wildfire stuff too, and a lot of the cameras out there. But have you seen anything that's caught your eye with the way the models have trended today, or this event in general?
The only thing that concerns me is the temperature gradient that we may see. Now, down there, you're not going to see a lot of, you're not going to see the same issue we were thinking that Kansas City was going to see with the freezing above, warm air at around 850 temperature, or 850 millibar gradient, then freezing below where it's going to create a lot of issues for maybe sleet, maybe snow. Down there, you have a pretty saturated, moist profile that's going to generally stay below freezing all throughout. I know some of the models had it a little bit above freezing, some had it a little bit below freezing, but it seems like the 18Z models and the 12Z models all had a good consensus of it being below freezing. I am very interested to see that National Weather Service Little Rock put this graphic out saying that downtown Little Rock Metro will see 9 to 10 inches of snow.
Wow.
That is wild. I mean, I don't really remember the last time Little Rock had that much snow, but to a point going on earlier, before today, the last winter storm warning issued by that office down there was 707 days ago.
Are you kidding me?
And of course, no blizzard warnings for them at all. But you can see the entire CONUS for 2025 and late 2024 has been pretty busy with winter storms so far. You can see all these lighter blues up here, all indicating days between 1 and 20 of recent winter storm warnings. And then, of course, our only blizzard warnings within 2025 is these blue shades right here.
Wow. Hunter, that's crazy. I mean, it's almost been it's been over 700 days since this area, and now I guess it's 0, right?
Yep.
Did they just update it to 0?
Yep. Grays are going to be 0 days, so this is updated. You can see again 2025 and late 2024 have been very, very, very busy with high impact winter storm systems.
Wow. Oh, wow. Well, wow. We got someone checking. Nicole Baker says, I live in Little Rock. We'd love to send our snow coming straight to Cali. Could we? Yeah, so it looks like Little Rock is definitely going to get some snow. I wish we could send snow places, but unfortunately we cannot. But it is a crazy thing that Dallas is going to get. I mean, they have not had a winter storm in over 700 days, and now they are under a winter storm warning. And
now,
the
Brady,
trend.
what do you think about
Go ahead.
Potential blizzard warnings? Are we going to see wind gusts up there in the 40s and 45 range, or do you think they're going to generally just stay below that threshold for a blizzard criteria? Because I'm not really seeing anything that'll suggest a blizzard warning be issued.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they'll issue a blizzard warning for this. I think the winds probably need to be higher. I don't think the low is going to be cranking enough on the backside.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, just looking at 18ZA-RRR, I mean, your winds are going to be pretty calm. So what I'm excited about is I'm really excited to see some videos that are going to come from Dallas just showcasing that those snowflakes falling not really horizontally but vertically straight down, creating that snow globe effect. Oh, I'm so excited to see the videos coming from Texas of that.
Well, Jordan's going to be taking plenty of video.
I can't wait to fly my drone through that.
Yes.
Jordan, are you going to fly your drone through the snow?
I'm going to be flying my drone trying to capture people driving crazy on the highways and get them sliding around.
You will see plenty of that down here.
That's my plan. I have a couple bridges and overpasses marked out for where I'm going to station and just watch. So,
You going to check out the high five?
I got like 8 different honey holes marked on Google Maps.
Honey holes?
Honey holes?
What is that?
So on my Google Maps, I always mark honey holes for specific shots I can get. So anytime there's like winter weather or severe weather or hurricanes or whatever, I can go back to my same spots to get shots where I know it's going to be slippery. I know it's going to freeze. I know X, Y, and Z. So it's like a little cheat code.
Wow. Sierra, what do you think of that term honey hole? Is that a Jordan, did you come up with that term?
A honey hole?
Yeah.
No, I didn't come up with that.
I've never heard of it. Okay, I'm sheltered too, so it's okay.
Brandon Clement calls it calls them honey holes. So maybe I got it from Brandon.
Oh, really? That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, yeah, and maybe Dan, you can get out there on the roads and give Jordan some drivers to have fun with. But
From my understanding,
go ahead,
a
Sierra.
honey hole comes from fishing. I think a
Oh,
honey
really?
hole is like a good fishing spot.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay, it is. Yeah,
I agree.
it's
I agree.
it's a fishing term around here. Okay, cool. So that's all. So it's basically just like, oh, it's a sweet spot. It's like, okay, hey, I'm going fishing and I got, there's a bunch of fish here, or I'm gonna go, video people with cars, and there's a bunch of cars that generally will, have that happen. Anyway, cool. So really quickly timing out. I just want to time things out, and then we'll look at the models, and I just want to show everyone what this storm is, how it's going to take shape. And I did see someone in the stream talking about the Ohio State game. Yeah, the Cotton Bowl is down there on Friday. So a lot of people are going to be traveling in, and this event is going to start Thursday morning. You can see it starts as some freezing rain here Thursday morning in the Dallas metro area, and with some really heavy rain starting to form in South Texas, Austin, and other places down there. But on the north side in Dallas and areas north, this really wide area of snow is going to develop. And the thing you'll notice is as you go throughout the day, that rain-snow line actually sinks further south as this storm really pulls in a lot of cold air on the backside. And there really isn't going to be a huge area of freezing rain like we saw with this previous storm. It's going to be primarily rain and snow. So you're either going to get a lot of snow or you're going to get a lot of rain. And there's probably not going to be very much in between. A really tight gradient I would expect from this storm. But this is the 18Z HRRR here, and you'll notice Dallas is in the center of your screen right here. They are right on the rain snow line, and just to the north, they got big time snow, heavy snow as this storm really kind of gets going here. By the time we wake up Friday morning in Dallas, the storm should be mostly done, but Dan, a lot of times we see with events like this, it takes cities like Dallas days to come back and get the roads, drivable.
Yeah, what'll happen is you'll have the times where the temperature goes above freezing, you get the melt, but then at night it goes back below freezing and you get that refreeze, which is really dangerous the next morning.
Yeah. That'll be so. Jordan, there'll be plenty of drone footage there with the next day. Even though the snow will be stopped, the roads are still going to be bad.
Yeah, Dallas is notorious for having terrible roads during storms. So
Yeah.
that's one of the key.
Now looking at the snow totals here. So this is one model. James Pettis says he's getting snow. I love that. It's a miracle. Yeah, well, let's look. Are you in Tennessee? I think you're in Tennessee, right, James? We'll take a look at Tennessee,
James
too.
is in Nashville.
Oh, he's in Nashville. Okay, cool. Nashville. I love it. But this is the latest model from I guess this is the 18Z. If we go to the 22Z, we're not gonna be able to see this far out. But this is the 18Z, and they have northern Texas getting crushed. Once again, one model. So we don't want to take this as gospel. We want to use models more as guidance, less of like, okay, this is what's going to happen. But if we look at the NAM, and I haven't looked at this yet, but so this might be a surprise. So the NAM still has a pretty good chunk of snow here in northern Texas and southeastern Oklahoma. So I think Dallas is still very much at play. Let's take a look at our GFS. Just see, yeah, look at that, Jordan, you were right, man. 18Z GFS brings big time heavy snow back. Let's just look at the trend here. Yeah, a little bit of a southward trend there if we look at the GFS. So it is a trend that we'll have to watch. And honestly, guys, with the way 2025 has started, I wouldn't doubt that if the worst weather is going to happen, it probably is. But let's take a look at the Euro too, just to check the Euro 18Z. Wow, look at the Euro 18Z brings almost 10 inches of snow. Euro's been pretty consistent though, I think, looking at the last 4 runs. And I think the Euro handled, like Hunter, I think the Euro handled the last winter storm that we had incredibly well, with kind of nailing Kansas as being the big time snow total.
Euro was one of those models that had it pretty well set days out. Seems like a lot of the other models trended towards the Euro solution, so I'd say it did pretty excellently with our latest winter storms.
Yeah, it really did. And James is excited. He's getting snow finally. I tell you what, James, don't get too excited, and don't make any bets with Jordan, because Jordan may curse you like he did with me.
James.
Yeah, James, what's your over under for snowman in Nashville? Let's look. All right. Okay, so let's just time this out too for the rest of our folks here that maybe are off to the east. So we looked at Dallas. Dallas is primarily a problem tomorrow. Oh, James says over 7 inches. Under 2. Wait.
You that
taking
confident,
the under.
James?
Taking the under.
You're taking the under. Oh, yeah, I'm taking the under too. 100%. Connor says he saw a huge model winner. Yeah, we'll look at that. Dan, I'm taking the under on that. What do you think?
Yeah, probably.
Hunter, are you with me?
I'm with you there.
Taking the under 7. Actually, I'm going to go under 5. I'm going to do the under 5.
I'll take
No,
the
that's-
over just to be the odd one out.
Oh, Sierra. Whoa.
That's pathetic.
James says, please don't curse me. My Titans are cooked enough. I'm telling you, James, he did the same thing with me for the last event. He set it at 5, and I got under. And he like, it's a problem. It's an absolute problem. All right, so timing this thing out for areas further to the east. This is the 18Z NAM. So once again, just one model. The event in Arkansas or the event in Tennessee is going to get started Friday early morning. It's going to come in from west to east here. By the time you reach Friday at 8 a.m., probably around 10 a.m., a lot of the state should be covered in snow. And, I was following people on Twitter, and I think James actually was the one that's talking about this too. The pavement temperatures down there, because it's been so cold, a lot of this snow is going to stick right away. So normally, sometimes snow like this would take a while to stick on the ground and accumulate. But because of the fact that it has been so cold for so long, really across a large portion of this area, that snow's going to stick, and it's going to stick really quickly. And don't sleep on the snow if you're in Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Those areas just got several inches up to a foot in places. You're going to get a couple more inches with this storm too. So I wouldn't sleep on this here. We'll see in Columbus if we get any. Based upon the last storm, we might not. But right now, we're going to get in the Ohio Valley in general, all the way from Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, into Ohio. You're going to get snow, and it's going to come Friday during the day, and then Friday overnight. And then, during the overnight Friday into Saturday, this storm is going to slide off the coast, most likely. So let's take a look at the snow totals really quickly here. And this is just from the NAM. So this highlights our, once again, our area, our axis of heavy snow is going to be south. So even though Ohio, those other areas are going to get snow, only going to be a couple of inches. The heavy snow is going to be down in Tennessee, James, where they could get up to 6 inches, maybe more. Does anyone know what the criteria for a winter storm warning down in Tennessee is off the top of their head?
Not that I know of, no.
Anyone? Jordan, Sierra?
All I heard was.
That sounds like a problem, Jordan. Okay, James says 3 inches. Okay.
I was crossing some trees. We're good now.
All right, yeah. Well, wait. If you have Starlink, don't trees not matter? Isn't it pointed up?
It's pointed up, but when I go in like a ravine, like the Arbuckles there, it's tough.
Okay. I would get, like, if I were you, I would get a big antenna and just put it on top of your car where you can just keep it up like 10 feet, maybe. I don't know.
Then that would block the Starlink.
Well, you got to put the Starlink on the antenna, right?
So I'm gonna put a Starlink on top of an antenna.
I think you could build a tower. Anyway, Oh man. So James says, I know. We'll workshop that. We'll workshop that, Jordan. We'll we'll get it better. James says 3 inches. So that is their criteria down in Tennessee for winter storm. So they are probably going to exceed that by a couple of inches at least. So that is what we got cooking there. What? Yeah, under 5. Jordan says under 5. I think the majority of us say under 5. Sierra said over 5. And Hunter, you said over 5?
I stand by that.
At or under 5.
Oh,
Specifically in James's neighborhood.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we're gonna get under 5 too. But it'll be a pretty good snow event, especially for the South. So if you're in Knoxville, if you're in Nashville, if you're in Little Rock, if you're in Dallas, if you're in even St. Louis will get some snow with this. Probably not a lot of snow. Memphis, this is gonna be a big time event for you. So Memphis, if you're in any of those cities or near them, just prepare for a snow event, the likes of which we haven't seen this part of the country in years. So big time snow is on the way. All the snow lovers down there are excited. James says last year was expecting 4 inches, got 8.5. I tell you what, that never happens for me, James. I'll just be honest. I always hit the under. So anyway. What else on this winter storm do you guys want to talk about? Are there any other things that we missed here? Jordan, you and Sierra are going down to go chase that big time snow in Dallas and then catch some footage there. Jordan or Sierra, anything else from your end that is on your mind for this winter storm?
I'm keeping an eye to see what the ice totals are going to end up being, because I know it's been wishy-washy on are we going to see ice or are we going to see snow. So I'm kind of trying to figure out if we are going to see any icing and where it's going to be. I'm going to assume if we do, it's going to be south of Dallas, in between like that Dallas-Waco area, but trying to line that up. I don't know if Dan's been paying any attention to that or has any input on that either, but that's kind of what I've been looking for.
Yeah, Dan, any input on what you've been seeing in terms of ice?
Yeah, it's kind of been a little bit back and forth from what I've seen, but any kind of ice in the Metroplex is going to just cripple the city.
Yeah, I would think so. And what we're looking at now is the official forecast from the National Weather Service. It has generally up to 1/10 of an inch in a lot of places. So it will be interesting to see how that unfolds. But
we saw exactly how 1/100th of an inch did to Kansas City. So
yeah,
you can only imagine what 1/10 of an inch will do to Dallas, an area that doesn't typically see winter weather.
Yeah, that place, they go 100 miles an hour all the time. So
yeah.
Does anyone know if they have salt trucks or sand trucks in Dallas?
Great question.
They generally will drop a salt sand mixture.
Why do they drop sand?
For traction.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting. I've never actually heard sand, but that's cool. But yeah, so Jordan, answer your question. I think up to 1/10 of an inch, just like Dan was talking about. Now, interestingly enough, I think because of our temperatures, because of there not being as deep of a cold pool, I don't think that ice, at least all the models that I've been seeing, haven't had ice as big of a problem as it was for the last storm. If we look at the 850 millibar.
I think the ice will get overlooked too, because when everybody was looking at it when it was going to go through Kansas City and up north, everybody was more worried about the trees, and the more ice, the worse. Whereas, again, like Hunter hit, it doesn't take much at all for it to really impact that Metroplex area. So any ice in general is going to be a big issue.
Yeah, I agree. And Hunter, you saw it firsthand with the ice in Kansas City. I mean, you were showing us it got crazy with all the roads, even the day before, right, when the event was just starting.
Yeah, so the forecast that I put out to a Facebook group said to be off the roads by 3 o'clock. And I worked until 4:30 that day, and by 4:30 came around, these stores were packed beyond belief. So it really surprised me to see that there were people still out there shopping, and then they were surprised when, oh my goodness, you go outside and wow, the roads are covered in ice. Would you believe that? I'm like, well, the forecasters, the broadcast media, we all told you to be off the roads by this certain amount of time. I mean, here's my screen right now, and you can see these are the total ice accumulations for the state of Kansas. I mean, you had half an inch southwest Paola, about 0.3 of an inch in Wyandotte County, Leavenworth County. If I switch it over to Missouri, this is where it gets really crazy. And these plots are coming from the automated data plotter from
You guys
Iowa
got
State
over a
University.
half an inch of ice and over a foot of snow. That is That is crazy.
I got 0.3 of an inch here in Liberty. You could actually go outside and measure like little twigs and power lines and see the ice hanging off of them. That's why I was saying on live stream the last time we did live that I could hear the power lines being tension and the branches starting to break. It was crazy. The next morning. Go ahead, Jordan.
So, I to your point where you're saying, everybody was supposed to be off the roads by 3:00 and they weren't. I had actually put a post on Facebook a few days ago about, winter storm potential in Dallas. And people were like, it's supposed to be 60 this weekend. You're wrong. And it was like, the winter storm will be there before then.
Yeah.
So
the few Facebook groups I also posted it in, I got a lot of messages mocking me and making fun of me, saying, oh, it won't be bad. It's never bad. The forecast is always wrong. And I'm just like, to those people, I'm like, what do you have to say about that now? Those are the same people that drove their vehicles into ditches.
Dude, those people were in for one heck of a surprise the next day.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy to see how I was bombarded with so many mean messages from people who didn't believe me, didn't believe the broadcast media, didn't believe the National Weather Service, and saying this is going to be a major winter storm, one that we haven't seen since early 2000s, if not sooner. And you see now, none of them are talking.
Yeah, I know. It's because they're still digging out from this last winter storm. So that's good stuff. That is really good stuff, Hunter. I did not know that. I knew the icing was bad, but I didn't know places like Kansas City and other areas in Kansas that got a foot and a half of snow also got a half an inch of ice or more. I mean, it's ludicrous.
Let me look at the total snowfall totals real quick for the state.
Go ahead, Dan.
One thing I do want to mention, our last major winter weather event was 2021. It was February. 246 people lost their lives because the rolling blackouts, and people were not able to stay warm enough.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was crazy. I remember that one too. That was when I first got into weather. That event happened, and it amazed me of how many unfortunate fatalities there were because of that situation. Thankfully, up here in Kansas and Missouri, I don't think we had any reported fatalities from any of this. But you can see these snowfall total maps. I mean, you can obviously tell where the bullseye was, all the way out here from central Kansas, all the way out to western Missouri. My apartment was in that bullseye. I think I measured about 13.5 inches average at my apartment. So, Brady, I got a few Tupperware things in the freezer waiting for you, man.
Oh my God, dude. Are you kidding me?
But yeah, Dan, back to your point. How do you think the system coming up in the next few days will compare to the system back in 2021? Do you think it'll be as impactful, less impactful, more impactful?
Right now, I don't think it'll be as impactful, but just on the surface, I mean, anything that can affect the city in that way, and the portions of the state can wreak havoc.
Yeah, because if
go
ahead, George, go ahead, Sarah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, we were in Buc-ee's just a couple of days ago on the way back to Norman, and we were talking to the cashier, and they said they were worried that they were going to lose power and go through what they went through a couple years ago, just with this upcoming storm. They were worried they were going to lose power and people would freeze, and they were pretty worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a graphic that I can show you.
Go, Dan.
please.
Let me see if this is it. Yeah. So if you could go full screen on this real quickly, this is the ERCOT dashboard, and it shows essentially the supply and demand in the state. You can see how the supply is the purple on top, and then the demand is blue on the bottom. And there are times where it gets really close, and that's when you can essentially get those rolling blackouts.
Yeah. Yeah, and with this storm, there is going to be a good amount of cold air. Maybe not as much as the last one, but so Dan, basically this graphic is showing, okay, is there going to be are the power companies going to have to decide, are we going to have to shut power off because the grid is too taxed, right?
Right, and so in the United States, you've got a west and an east power grid, and then Texas has its own power grid. So we're not able to move, power from other states here. So once we're out of power, we're cooked.
Your host, yeah, you're chalked, as Jordan likes to say,
bro.
Yes, yes. Oh well, I really hope that does not happen with this particular storm. And the one little pause of hope I have is after the storm, because I remember when that devastating Texas cold snap plus snow event happened that unfortunately took all those lives. It was really cold after, and we are going to see cold temperatures, especially into Friday and Saturday. Highs are only going to be in the 20s. So very cold day on Saturday. The good news is, at least when I'm looking at the GFS, it has relative warmth. 30s, 40s, and 50s, which is still cold. Don't get me wrong, that is still cold. But maybe a little bit of a sliver of hope here that after this event, that temperatures will rebound faster than they did in the previous event. But because Dan, remind me, during that event, temperatures were in the 20s and teens, right? I think. Oh, Dan, I think Dan maybe dropped. We'll come back to Dan on that. But really good stuff there from Dan and Hunter, kind of showing the different impacts of this. Is this going to be a repeat of our storm? And they are going to get a lot of snow, but the hope is that temperatures shouldn't be as cold on the backside as well. So, Hunter or Jordan? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Wildfires.
Yeah, it is. Good call.
That problem going on right now.
Yeah, so we've got another situation unfolding, and Jordan and Hunter, I'm going to let you guys talk to this a little bit further, just because you have more experience in this than I do. But this is a live view of Southern California, and we have several ongoing wildfires that are there. And I'm just going to go and show, we've got a couple different cameras that we're looking at right now. Santa Monica, Malibu, and Pasadena. There is several wildfires, dangerous wildfire conditions. We had a PDS warning for wildfire or for fire conditions a couple of days ago, and that was issued. And then all these fires started. And Hunter, I just want to quickly walk. I know you've been following this pretty closely. What is the last 24 hours? What has that been like in Southern California? And I guess, do they know how these fires started, and how is it going?
To put it simply, it's literally hell. That's the simplest way I can put it. I'm not too sure if they know how these fires got started. I would assume it's human cause. There was actually a video posted of someone blowtorching grass, starting fires. It was a homeless person blowtorching grass, trying to start fires. But
are you kidding me?
The only way I can describe this is hell. I mean, it's something that the residents weren't really prepared for, but they probably should have been. At least the city should have been be prepared for it. This was a well-forecasted event. I want to say almost 4 to 5 days in advance that we would have very low relative humidity. You can see on some of the latest soundings from one of the airports up there. This is from Kyle's Sounder PY application. You can see the relative humidity there. 15%, 0 to 1 relative humidity. 14%. You can see the strong mid-level winds as well. I mean, this was projected by models pretty well in advance, and I can't really speak on the impact since I'm not down there.
Yeah.
We all know Tanner Charles. He is currently down there caught up in this, and the videos I've seen from him are wild. So my heart goes out to all those impacted down there.
Yeah, and to your point, the conditions were right, but also oh gosh, this camera is crazy. The conditions were right, but also they haven't received measurable rain in months. Yeah, so
going on 8
very
months,
dry.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Now, Jordan, from your perspective, right? Like, how can they prepare for something like this? I mean, they issue that PDS warning. They tell people, okay, don't go and burn anything and be careful about grilling out and all this other stuff. But like, what else can they do? Because when the winds come through, these strong Santa Ana winds, and they knock down power lines, and that can spark a lot of different fires too. Like, how can you stop that?
So I've been screaming this from the mountaintops for years, even when I was a wildland firefighter. My dad's been screaming it to me since I was a little kid. Wildland management is a very big deal. You need to get rid of overgrowth. You need to make sure there's not trees leaning on your house or bushes next to your house. So when you have situations like we've been seeing, especially yesterday, I watched a lot of crazy live streams. You have these embers that go flying, and all it takes is one to land in that hedge next to your house, or that bush that's leaning against your house, and your house is gone, just like that. And as pretty as it is, it's very destructive.
Yeah, and I mean, like Hunter, talk about this shot right now. I mean, this is this a live shot right now of
no, it was taken yesterday, but I mean, it speaks volumes. Just smoke overtaking numerous houses. You have this one taken as well from one of the webcams, just absolutely surreal. And then we have this. This is a live cam I was showing you earlier. This is a 3-hour loop of the live cam before it went offline, and you can see it very quickly being overran by the wildfire, and it is currently offline. And here's the last image available from that webcam, and it is just very impactful to see something like that, knowing that people's lives are being. How many fatalities have we had from this so far? Thankfully, only 2, but
I think they updated that total just like 20 minutes ago. So
yeah, here's the latest. Someone DM'd me. This is like the latest information that we have, at least, on the fire. There was a total of 12,000 emergency responses, 55 wildfires. I think that's more. I think that's the entire state of California, I believe, and a total of two civilian fatalities. Structures. I mean, I've seen reports of over 1,500, maybe over 1,000 structures, at least. Right, Jordan?
Fox has just reported 5 fatalities on the Eaton fire. As of 15 minutes ago.
Wow. So that's. I mean, that would not surprise me at all. That's one fire. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Something we see too is I've been really like keeping up with this since it happened yesterday. I actually almost flew out there to cover this 2 days ago. I got pulled in for the Dallas storm instead, and something I noticed is when the evacuation orders go out, there's a lot of people that aren't actually heeding those evacuation orders. And then I was seeing in a lot of media video, people that were just walking out of their houses when the backside of their house is in flames. And that is way too late to be evacuating your home. And on top of it too, I think we all saw on Sunset Boulevard, people were abandoning their vehicles, but they were taking their car keys with them. Like they were leaving it in a parking lot, but they were leaving it in the middle of the road. So then firefighters were blocked in from being able to get to these fires. They had to take a bulldozer and bulldoze cars out of the way. So you're seeing like Bentleys and BMWs just getting shoved off the side of Sunset Boulevard for fire crews to get in. And not to mention, they don't even have enough crews to handle this fire. So you're just going to see a lot of neighborhoods that are just going to be untouched, and people are going to think they're forgotten about. But in reality, there's just no crews to get there, and there's no containment. It's just running rampant. So if you're getting told to evacuate, it's a really good idea to get out of there. And you're not going to save a house with a garden hose no matter how hard you try. So you just got to get out of there. And I think one of our good friends, Tanner Charles, figured that out yesterday and got extremely close and got very lucky of trying to save somebody's house with a garden hose. And that's just never going to work with a fire like that ever. So it's just one of those. I know people want to hold on and they have, valuables and stuff, but the most important thing you can do is get away with your life, in my opinion. So.
Another thing I want to bring up real quickly, if it's okay, is that a lot of these areas in California, I don't know if you guys have been reading the news, their insurance dropped them for fire coverage within the past year. So that's another big loss for them, is that they're not going to be able to be covered by this. And it's, go ahead, Jordan. I know you got something to say.
On top of your thing with the fire coverage, some of those insurance companies were dropping these people because they're not doing the management of their property. They're not getting rid of the overgrowth around their house, and that is a big reason why insurance companies will drop you, because if you're not taking the precautions to not let your house light on fire, we're not going to.
So are they coming out and doing inspections of the house to make sure you're maintaining all that? Then
depends on the insurance company, but majority of them will. And then I know a lot of fire departments offer to come clean it for free too. So that's also.
I was not made aware. Oh, thank you for making us aware of that, because I just read on the news that, of course, the news being the news, obviously they're going to twist and manipulate the story. But that a great point there, that if you're not taking care of your house, sure, you're going to probably be dropped, because one of these events was, I don't want to say guaranteed to happen, but seeing that they haven't had rain in more than 8 months, it was only a matter of time before something like this happened.
And a fire department too is people don't like to pick and choose what's going to get saved and what's not going to get saved. But if I have a house that's got cleaned out, there's not a whole lot of trees leaning on the house, I'm more likely to save this house versus the one with all the trees and the shrub around the house. So that's kind of one of those things.
So it's resource management on the fire department as well. They would much rather save the house with no debris around rather than the house that has tons of debris that could easily catch on fire, which makes total sense, because less water used, less resources used to save that house.
Now, Jordan, how do you, if you're a firefighter, right? And I know you were in the past. How do they even approach something like this? Because I think at this point it's like, okay, how do we get as many people out of the way when you have winds? Because just a backdrop on this, guys, we got this, Santa Ana winds. It's a common occurrence, not common occurrence, but it happens in California. It's a natural phenomenon where the winds, really crank up and funnel from, storm system, and the mountains and the topography helps kind of funnel them down into the valley, where you can have winds of gusting, 50, 60, 70, 80 to 100 miles an hour. When you have hurricane force winds blowing the fire, how do you even stop that? As a firefighter, is your goal just to get people out of the way?
The biggest thing, and this is going to be the most blunt, honest thing you're going to hear, it's going to be life over property. And they're going to have air tankers and they're going to have helicopters, but they know they're not going to be able to slow it down. So they're trying to save what they can. Give me 1 second. There's going to be a bridge.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, we should be good. They're going to say what they can, but a lot of the time you're going to see there's really not a whole lot you can do, especially when you're getting fire blown at 80 to 100 miles an hour. You're going to see attempts to save property, but they're not going to burn too much resources to do so. It's one of those things the public doesn't want to see firefighters just standing around doing nothing, because then they're like, well, you're not helping me. So you have to at least look like you're doing something. And by doing that is trying to protect what you can, but not giving up too many resources, because the fact is you're not going to be able to slow down a fire with low RH in an overgrowth area with 80 mile an hour winds. And I had seen something yesterday too, where on somebody's live stream, there was people like, there's no firefighters here. They quit flying the airplane. Why are they flying the airplane? And it was like, the winds are blowing 80 to 90 miles an hour and the visibility is almost zero in those areas. You're not going to get an airplane in there anymore. It's just, it sucks, but that's the truth of it. It's a safety thing too, because you can't fly an airplane through smoke when you have mountains like that too. So it is just literal hell, like Hunter said earlier over there.
Yeah, and Hunter, you've been kind of following this all day and all last night. What's been some of the craziest things you've seen, or some of the things you've been hearing from the people there? Or because there's a lot of people, we're in the digital age where everyone has a phone, and a lot of people are videoing it. There's been a lot of crazy reports and crazy stories out there.
I haven't really followed it too closely. I've more so followed it from the meteorological standpoint and just looking at webcams. But through our friend Tanner Charles, I've been looking at his Twitter and Facebook videos, and it is just amazing to see what he's going through, what he's seen on the front lines. From some of the cell-phone videos that I have seen, it just seems like people were really surprised about this event. Like, I get it. You were not expecting your entire city to go up in flames, but you have crowds and crowds and crowds of thousands of people standing near a guardrail, just taking pictures of these fires, just sort of amazed by it. And I'm like, well, this was forecasted well in advance. I know broadcast media there had to have gotten the word out, but I mean, I just haven't really followed it too closely from a personal standpoint, just from a meteorological standpoint and looking at webcams.
For sure. And Hunter, like, from a meteorological, like, when are we expecting, because I looked at a couple of models, and I think the winds hopefully are supposed to die down a little bit as we go into the overnight, continuing into tomorrow.
SPC still has a critical risk out for tomorrow and Thursday.
Oh, do they?
Which I think is just sort of the cover the basis of, hey, it's still going to be relatively dry. We still have ongoing wildfires. They have nothing out yet for the day 3. So I'm hoping by at least Thursday, late PM, going into Friday, that some of the conditions for these wildfires can be brought down a little bit, and that the firefighters may have some leverage against these fires rather than having to battle such extreme low relative humidity values and such extreme wind gusts.
Jordan, have you been looking at the models too? I know you were thinking about going out there, in terms of like how long these conditions, these bad conditions with these crazy winds, are going to stick around.
I didn't look at the long range for it. I was only initially looking at the 2 days, yesterday and today, just because that's when I was expecting there to be some sort of a fire. It's almost weird whenever you see fire news out of California, whenever they're like, hey, there's fire weather predicted, it's almost guaranteed you're going to get a fire, because every pyro that's out there that loves to start fires waits for them to announce that to go start their fires out there, it seems like, every time. So that's just how it is. But I was talking about going with Jonathan Petramala a few days ago, but then we held off for the Dallas risk, but hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, sorry. I don't. Well, we don't on this show, guys. I don't actually prepare any questions, so the questions I'm throwing out are literally just like off the top of my head. So, don't mean to put you guys on the spot. Hunter, you and Jordan should be asking me crazy questions and put me on the spot for stuff too.
You're all good.
But yeah, what the video we're showing now, this is atop of a ridge, and towards the end of the video, you see this. I mean, there's this burn line in the background of I mean, this is just unbelievable stuff here. It looks like there's a house to the left that's blurred out. I could not imagine living in one of those houses or watching this live stream and knowing that everything that I own is going up in flames. But Hunter, every camera we seem to look at, it's just more of the same. It's wildfire after wildfire with unbelievable image after unbelievable image. And if this is going to be 2025, man, I don't really know. I'm not looking forward to it. I really am not, because this is. I thought we were going to be calm, but
it's a little bit of a side topic. But I'm surprised the live cameras we're using are able to stay online for the website with how much traffic they received in the past couple of days. I mean, these cameras are only used to maybe getting couple dozen, if that, live viewers every day, and they probably have upwards of a couple 100,000 viewers right now. So good on the camera operators for being able to keep the website online and all the cameras maintained as much as they can.
Yeah, I think everyone in the country is. Go, Jordan.
With the Palisades fire, is you were seeing lifeguard stands on fire on the beach yesterday, and
wow.
that just goes to show the fire, the environment there is so ready and so conductive for fires that even just a little ember getting into a lifeguard stand just lights it up. And we're seeing RVs burning that weren't anywhere close to anything. I mean, something else too is a lot of people that are evacuating, when they're blasting their air conditioner, you can suck in an ember through your air conditioner, and it's like blowing on a hot ember the entire time. It's gonna spark up.
Yeah.
And that's how you see a lot of vehicle fires too. So.
Wow. Yeah. And you know what we're looking at now is this is a live look at the radar. When you have really big fires, really explosive fires, you can sometimes see them on radar, and this is not rain here near Glendale. I think this is not the Palisades. Yeah, this is are they calling it the Pasadena fire? I'm not actually sure what this fire, what the name is.
Pasadena is the Eaton fire.
Okay.
So this is the Eaton fire.
The one to the southwest is the Palisades fire. That's up against the coast now.
Got it. Okay. So this is the Eaton fire that we're looking at, and guys, that is smoke, right? That is a big time fire that we're picking up the smoke particles in the air on the radar, and it looks like rain. This is not rain. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see these radar images, because that is just clearly a big time fire that is getting. Even looking at the radar, you can tell how strong those upper level winds are that are just pushing this smoke very fast right off into Santa Monica and then off the coast. And air quality is also a big concern here in LA, because you not only have that fire ongoing, you have several other fires that are ongoing that most of the city, just looking around, a lot of the cameras that we saw, pretty much every camera has some sort of smoke on it. I mean, this was a camera I was looking at just a little bit ago that had even you can tell there's this big populated area down in the valley, and even though they're not getting necessarily a fire in the valley yet, look at all that. Whoa, what was that? Look at all that smoke that's drifting right down into those houses. Those are where people live. Air quality is going to be a really big problem for almost everyone across LA. That's crazy.
Let me try and find something that Matthew Capucci put out earlier today. I think it was that part of the United States had the worst air quality in the Western Hemisphere today.
Wow. Yeah, that would not surprise me.
I do not doubt that at all.
That would not surprise me at all. So look, while you're finding that, I'll just give a quick overview of the different fires that we have ongoing. We've got the Palisades fire here, to Jordan's point earlier. You've got the Woodley fire. The Palisades fire is over 15,000 acres, guys. That is a huge swath. If we zoom in here, I mean that is a ton of land, and I think it's starting to make its way. It basically has hit the coast now. Go ahead, Jordan.
The average house cost in that fire was like $5 to $8 million, and they've lost.
Are you kidding me?
Thousands of homes out there also. So,
wow.
It might go down as one of the costliest wildfires, or at least in LA history. Last I saw.
So on a large scale, where are these smoke plumes being blown to? Are they being blown to the east towards like Phoenix and Texas, or where are they currently being blown to?
Those are getting blown out into the Pacific, I believe.
Okay, because it's a high pressure system being the northeasterly winds just pushing them out there then.
Yeah, you've got winds that they're funneling down from, because the crazy part about this whole thing is this event, our winter storm that is moving towards Texas as we speak, that winter storm, that same system is as it's intensifying, is bringing those isobars together. And when you have stuff, when you get, you're in between high pressure and low pressure, you can have some really strong winds that form. So our winter storm that we're looking at is actually helping cause this event. So those two things are very much related here, which is another crazy thing to think about, is that winter storm that we're about to get. If I'd show you guys on the let's look at the satellite really quickly. Let's zoom out, because you can very clearly tell that swirl. Let me go full. If we look here, oh, that's a bad view. No, that's also a bad view. Sorry, guys. Let me get a better view. So, yeah, I'm trying to get a good view. I'll circle it. I'll circle it right here so you guys can tell. But this big time trough that's moving down, that's arcing down and about to form a low at the surface and bring all of that wintry weather to Dallas, that has been moving south, and it moves right over top of California. So our Santa Ana wind event that we're getting is highly related to that winter storm. And that's why, as that energy moves away from California, the wildfire risk will still be there, but it will decrease once the winds stop, blowing so strongly right through right off of the California coast towards the Pacific Ocean. So I thought that was rather interesting to know that our winter storm is actually part of the cause of this particular event. So then looking at the rest of our fires here that we have, we also have the Woodley fire that is 30 acres. That is just to the north of the Palisades fire. And then we have the Eaton fire over here, which we were looking at. That's the fire that we picked up on radar. We got Lisa Lama checking in the chat. Hello, Lisa Lama. That fire is 10,000 acres. So another big time fire in this one. I mean, this one is not good because it is right at the base of the mountains and moving towards the really highly populated areas in LA. So it's not good. Jordan, from your perspective, this fire, from just all the different wildfires you've covered, is this? I don't want. Listen, we got a long ways to go, so I don't want to say this is the worst one you've ever seen. But from just the fact that this is moving into such a highly populated area, do any other wildfires come to mind when you think about these that are ongoing?
I think about the fire in Paradise, California. California is notorious for getting fires near Santa Barbara. The Paradise fire. So this is something not unusual. It's a little weird since it's January, but it's really bad. I know Los Angeles hasn't seen a fire like this in a long time, maybe ever, as in terms of cost. But it's definitely in line with what I'm used to seeing out of California, considering the wildland management there is not the best, and you have the Santa Ana winds as well. So.
Yeah, that is wildfires do happen in California, Jordan, to your point, right? They do happen, and they've always happened, but this is a pretty bad one, right? There's a lot of huge population centers at risk, and just the pictures and the images we've seen out of here have been crazy. Remember that video of that guy trapped in his house? Did you guys see that video?
No, I don't think I have. Is this
he was
fire?
It was they were up on top of a ridge, and there was 80-mile-an-hour winds that were blowing fire up against the glass. That was a wild.
With the guy with his dog?
Yes.
That video is insane, and that's another that they should not be there at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because now they're stuck, right, Jordan? I mean, they're stuck. They're not going. I mean, they're not going to be able to escape now because
that's one
you've got
80-mile.
Yeah.
I really hope they're still alive.
Yeah.
As blunt as I have to be, I mean, that's scary because at that point, your house is protecting you, but it's also about to burn to the ground. I think the only saving grace you possibly do have is that you're in a concrete jungle. So if you need to evacuate, like, you have moments to get out of there, get in a car and go. But at that point, I think everything around them was already on fire. It's very similar to like the Tanner Charles situation, where I think they stayed way too long. It's very risky, especially in like an urban fire environment like that, because you never know when the power line's going to get blown down in the 80-mile-an-hour winds, or anything like that. You're just going to get trapped in there, and then ingesting and inhaling all of that smoke and all of the toxins from the homes that are on fire is deadly in itself. So
yeah, one thing I think is, like, a lot of people, if they haven't experienced it, they may not be able to predict it, but it's kind of incredible how fast and how extreme fire can move sometimes. When you have those really high winds, those embers can, back earlier in the year, we did the Texas Panhandle wildfires. And whenever there was a big gust of wind, I mean, you'd start to see extreme fire behavior, fires jumping highways in an instant, those embers going flying, and it can really overcome you really quickly.
Yeah. They're anytime you have an event like that, it's such a good point, Sierra. You're sometimes these fires can be traveling 50, 100 miles an hour. I mean, they can be going so fast that you have no chance, if you don't get out when you're told to, of getting out. The camera we're looking at right now, I believe this is the Palisades fire, I believe, because the coast is right there. But look, yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
It's almost crazy too, because like, easy as it is, it's so easy to get awestruck by these fires, because you just want to look at them, because I don't think there's a person on the planet that doesn't just want to sit there and stare at fire when they see fire. I think everybody's just got an eye for fire. And so anytime you see 100-foot flames and huge wildfire barreling towards you, it's almost hard to turn your head away from it. Like, I don't want to take my eyes off of it. And that tends to get a lot of people caught off guard also, because it is moving so fast in some situations where you're like, wow, it just jumped that canyon in less than 30 seconds. Like, it's just insane. So that's what scares me too, is seeing people take videos and photos on top of these ridges looking straight down. And it's like, fire burns so fast uphill. That's a big thing. So it's going to burn significantly faster up the side of the ridge than it is down the other side. So it's very, very scary, especially with those fire conditions that are present in Southern California.
Yeah, and to your point, Jordan, earlier, right? If you're a firefighter at this point, you're the odds are so stacked against you to be able to stop this fire until you can get planes in the air, and until you can get some of these explosive conditions and these 60 to 100 mile winds, until they calm down. You don't have a chance to stop it, right? It's just trying to get people out of the way.
And then the other thing too is, a lot of these firefighters are not going to get much of a break. They're going to be working for 24, 40 hours.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. At this point, we've heard from, lots of sources online that they're saying that they don't have enough fire crews to be able to do anything. And they've been working for a couple days straight now. I start to worry about the fatigue that they have, especially with all the smoke inhalation that you get.
Yeah, it's such a dangerous. People don't realize, people think, okay, firefighters, right? Going like, it's such a dangerous profession, especially out in everywhere. I mean, they literally, firefighters go towards fires. They go into fires to try to put them out. But when you have something like this, to your point, Jordan, I mean, these firefighters are working, 24-hour shifts where they're battling a fire that has a mind of its own and is moving so fast that they've got to be really careful too, because if they stay in one place too long and try to fight it, they could also put themselves in harm's way, and that happens a lot, right, Jordan?
Yeah, and it's another tricky part that most people don't think of and really understand is you have wildland fire and you have structure fire, and usually the two don't intertwine very often. But now you have wildland crews out there who are dealing with fully involved structures, and they don't have structure gear. And then you have structure firefighters there who are going to be overheating due to the fact that there's so many structure fires, and they're there to fight structure. It's hot, and they don't have wildland firefighting gear. And that's the biggest thing is you can't go out to fight a wildland fire with structure gear, or you're gonna overheat yourself. So when you mix wildland fire with structure fire, it's terrible. It's just it's a really bad mix.
Yeah. And you know, this what we're looking at now, this is downtown Los Angeles is looking towards, look at that air quality, guys. That is absolutely, the entire city is just draped. It looks like with a cloud, but that is not a cloud. That is smoke from the wildfires, and the whole city is engulfed in this smoke, and it's a problem. I mean, they're like you guys said, the air quality there is some of the worst it's been, some of the worst in the entire world right now today in Los Angeles. So even if you're not getting affected directly by the fire, you're smelling smoke and you're breathing in that smoke and in the air, and that is not good for especially a lot of our more vulnerable populations.
I believe the Eaton fire was threatening. I don't know if it ever overtook it, but it was threatening a building with chlorine gas inside the building. So you don't know what's going to be in that smoke either, and that's another toxic part of the fire. Is you don't even have to be, engulfed in flames to get the effects, the deadly effects, or the cancer-causing effects that these fires bring with the smoke that's getting pushed out of there. So you never know it's burning.
Yeah. Brady, back to your point. Up on my screen, I have the purple air quality index measurement. You can see the darker purples are worse air quality, purples and reds, and you can see all those scattered between Los Angeles County. You can see them a little bit also confined to the immediate fire locations. You have the one down here by Santa Monica. But you have some crazy, crazy values of like 336. Earlier today, I want to say that was around 600. Let's see. 600. I just saw like 614 on there. Yeah, 654 was the highest I got to earlier today. And that is just 30 minutes exposure to that without proper protection. You are going to be in for a bad time with respiratory issues.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're talking about days of this rather than just
yes.
Rather than just hours. We're talking about days of this really bad air quality of sticking around, because even though the fires, even though that they're we're gonna eventually be able to fight them and get them out, we got a long ways to go before we can get there. And by me I mean California and the firefighters out there, but even so, we're gonna have this smoke that's gonna stick around for a long time. Look at this shot, guys. I mean, this is. I think we looked at this earlier, but the last frame of this that you can really start to see the look at the flames come up on that pole. The camera operating around, and then he turns it here at the very last frame here to see the fire on the right side of the camera, and it just look at that fire. It's going up on the ridge. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Let's look at the last 15 minutes.
So its impact, it's threatening those houses right there on top of the ridge then.
Look at that. Wow. Look at the explosive development. Look at the fire just start to shoot towards those houses. That is 15 minutes.
Look at that. Look at the newest one.
That is here. Let me scoot the camera over a little bit.
Can you send that camera in the private chat?
That is what I'm talking about. You have homes on top of these mountains.
Oh.
That fire is going to the wind could be blowing 80 to 100 miles an hour. That fire might move faster than that because it's burning up. Heat rises. It is going to climb those mountains faster than you can imagine.
Yeah, Brady, are you able to send that camera to our private chat?
Yeah.
I want to get a time lapse of this.
Yeah, it looks like that's the Topanga Peak 2 camera.
Yeah, I just sent it. That is absolutely insane. Watching that, this is 15 minutes. The camera that we're looking at is 15 minutes, and that is an actual like explosion of fire that just is shooting up. And this is a time lapse. These are photos taken, every basically every maybe 30 seconds or something like that. But that is
they're every minute.
Every minute. Okay. And in the background, looking off in the distance, that is another fire on a ridge that's burning. So the fire is just a completely erratic behavior. And the interesting thing here too, guys, is that the winds are blowing this way, right? The winds are blowing this way, and the fact that the fire is spreading not against the wind, but the fire is almost spreading perpendicular to the wind. That's erratic fire behavior. Yikes! Oh my goodness, that is.
I wish that camera was just a little further to the right.
I know they might move it. They sometimes will move these. They've been moving these cameras around today. The camera operator. Look at that! Oh my gosh, it just completely just shoots off into that valley and it explodes. Ludicrous. Wow. Yeah, you at this point, guys, there's really not much you can do but, hope and pray that a lot of these people are getting out on time and heeding the warnings, and that these conditions will lessen, because there's not much else we can do. Really, even the firefighters at this point.
Looks like it just spread up closer to that house on this latest one.
Oh my gosh. That is absolutely insane. Oh my
What is
goodness.
the update interval on that camera?
1 minute.
15 minutes. Oh, sorry. 1 minute.
It updates every 1 minute, but we have it on a 15-minute loop.
Perfect. Yeah, I was just seeing how fast it updates. So we'll get another update here in about 40 seconds, right?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that is wild, guys.
That is just crazy to see that, though. Oh my goodness.
Guys, thank you everyone that's watching over on Twitter, over on YouTube. You guys are awesome. From all of us here at the Stormfront Freaks, and Jordan and Dan and Hunter and Sierra. Thank you guys for watching our show today. We'll probably be wrapping up here in a little bit. We covered our winter storm. We're now covering the fires that are ongoing out here in California. But we'll wait a little bit further just to see what are the updates here with this camera, because I just every new picture I'm getting is just absolute insanity.
Yeah, this looks heartbreaking here.
Yeah, and I mean, Dan, from your perspective, we haven't talked to you in a little bit, Dan, but on the fire side, what have you seen? What's caught your attention with regards to these fires, or what's your take?
Just how, to Jordan's and y'all's points, the wind, just how fast it's moving the fire around, and it's just not stopping.
No, it's not stopping at all, and there's not much you can do, unfortunately, here, else than kind of sit and watch and get out of the way. But yeah. Just unbelievable images here.
Fire is about to reach that house.
Yeah, it is. The movement is completely erratic because the winds are blowing perpendicular, right? So, I mean, Jordan, have you seen from covering fires in the past? I know a lot of times, because the fact that it is a fire and it can spread in any direction, they normally spread, parallel to the wind, right?
I can explain that a little bit. So the reason that fire is crawling up, straight up that hill versus going up the wind direction is it's in a little bit of a ridge there. It's at the bottom of a ridge, and when you get those ridges like that, there's almost no wind under there, and sometimes it'll either be no wind or it'll swirl significantly, just depending on the wind aloft right above it. And so even if it's swirling, and I do think it's swirling because you're seeing it spread and go with the wind off to the whatever direction to the right, but it's gonna lift. Hot air rises, so it is going perpendicular, but it looks that way because it's burning uphill, and fire will never not burn uphill unless it doesn't have something to burn. So that's the exact reason why I see it look like it's going perpendicular, is because it's burning higher. So once it gets to the top of that hill, I'd be shocked to see it go left, into the wind. It'll likely blow off to the right and continue its normal path.
Yeah, because there are two houses right at the center of that. There's a house right here that is likely soon going to be engulfed. Probably there's a house here. There are two houses right there that are going to be awfully close to that fire if it were to jump over. And that, guys, that just shows you, like, when it comes to fires, sometimes there can be erratic in terms of, and Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes they can be erratic where, they burn 3 houses and then they leave a house, right?
You can see that too, and honestly, it really just depends on, what the house is made out of, if they have any fireproof additions to it, or, there's a couple different. There we go. We get over quick. There's a couple different things that can make that difference, and again, having trees leaning up against your house is probably going to go.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and Jordan, that camera is actually looking about to the southeast.
Okay. So that camera's looking southeast, and the winds are blowing from the north east, right? So.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys can show any pictures from Twitter, but there's a new picture going around. It's a drone shot, and it's over the Palisades, and it just shows this entire neighborhood completely leveled, and it's just ashes. There's nothing left.
Yeah, I see that photo. So, sometimes with copyright stuff, I generally be careful, but it was tweeted out, I think, from a guy. I'm actually looking at it right now. It was tweeted out from a guy, what's his username? It's WXNB. Was tweeted out from him. So that picture, if you go on Twitter, you can check that out. But that I'm looking at it right now, and it's bad. I mean, we talk about. Well, yeah, and Sierra, we talk about it leaving houses. I don't see a house that was spared at all.
Nope. Yeah, it's just ashes. It's absolutely horrible, and it just goes to show that they're not able to save many of these homes. There's just nothing they can do.
No, yeah, it's apocalyptic. It's absolutely apocalyptic.
And you also see some of these calls for like the water dropping aircraft. And another thing people don't think about too, when you get urban fire like this, there's a lot of concrete and asphalt, and you get a lot of heat. Obviously, you got fire on top of it, a lot of heat there. When an airplane or a helicopter is dropping water over those areas, it is so hot that most of that water evaporates before it hits a lot of the time, especially in situations like that. So you're going to have a lot of that water evaporate, and you're not going to get that full drop on some of those areas. So it takes even more water to do what you're trying to do. And in this situation where it's spreading so fast and the smoke is so thick, you might not even be able to get some drops where they need to go.
Yeah.
We saw earlier some videos circulating Twitter of the plane flying overhead and dropping at an angle where the wind pushes the water backward onto the fire. And you just got to think, what kind of skill and mathematics and calculations go into doing something like that, where you perfectly angle the drop where your water load gets pushed backwards onto the flames, suppressing them. That it just takes some impressive skill. So hats off to those pilots up there making those calculations and whatnot.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And also the winds too can sometimes keep them from, they can't fly. I think the planes were grounded yesterday. Now look at this, guys. I'm looking at this image. So here you've got your two structures right there. Watch this fire. Look, check that out. The smoke between there and there, it's working its way up the hill, and it's getting dangerously close to that house. Man, it just keeps getting closer and closer. Okay, that last frame, that smoke is so close to that house. I really, really hope this does not do what I think it could. But yeah, yikes! Oh my gosh, do you guys see that fire right there, getting really close there? to that house. Watch it the last couple of frames here. The fire, you can see it
the
shooting
flame.
to the left.
There it is. You can see the flame right up there. If you pay attention, it went through that ridge. It followed that ridge all the way up and around that hill, that little curve in the hill.
It did. Yeah, it literally followed up in like a line almost. Look at that, right off the.
It follows the ridge perfectly. So
that is crazy.
It's almost
like
like
the house looks like it's wow. Go
ahead, Jordan.
I was done.
Okay. What I was going to say is in the time that we've been sitting here watching this, if we were, in that house and we're like, oh, it's just down there. It won't get here. And then in this time we've been watching it, it's gotten there.
Wow. Yeah. And that's 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes. That's literally 15 minutes that it went up this hill that guys, this camera's far away from where that house is. So that's not a small like bunny hill. That's a big time like hill out there, and it just went right up, and now it's at the house. Oh my gosh! Look at that last frame.
The wind directly at that hill too. If you had the wind directly
last
at
frame,
the hill, it went up there half as fast.
Sorry, Jordan. Look at that last frame. That last frame. The fire looks like it's unfortunately right at that house. It might be.
Oh, the latest frame. Wow.
Yeah, I'm zooming in on it, and it's just on the doorstep, just about.
You can see the new impulse of fire at the bottom right of the screen, right there, going up the ridge again. Oh yeah. Wow!
It is insane because you would think, hey, this is down, this is the fire, the wind's blowing perpendicular, but to Jordan's, like my first thought was, oh, that house should be fine because the wind's gonna blow it up. It's going to blow up parallel to the wind, but to
Brady,
Jordan's
you
point...
can zoom out a little bit, Will.
Okay.
I want the...
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, my gosh. New flare-up down there. That's insane.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, dude. Oh, my gosh, yeah. Look at that big spike. Do we think that will go up that... Jordan, do you think that'll go up that hill right there, too? I guess it'll just
it probably will slowly, but it's that little ravine, ridge spot there. You saw how fast it crawled up there, so
yeah,
it just depends. The wind's probably going to try to keep it from going up on that spot, but it'll eventually get there. It'll just be slower, most likely. But by the time it gets there, that whole mountaintop there is probably going to be burned anyway.
Yeah. Guys, I think our house is on fire. Right in there, our first house at least, it looks like the smoke is if it's not from the house, it's right next to it. And I'm hoping that is going to die down, but it just every frame the smoke gets a little bit closer, that flame gets a little bit closer, and yikes, that is not good. That is wild. It's wild stuff, and I don't usually follow wildfires. I just being from Ohio, right? It's this is one of my first times paying super close attention to an event like this, but this just seems cataclysmic to me, and I could not imagine being there, living there, know someone from there. If you are any of those things, or someone that's there, give them a text tonight. Make sure you let them know that you're here for them and that you are checking in on them. I'm sure they're getting a lot of texts from other people, but this is cataclysmic here in LA, and I can't even imagine being there at all. So yeah, it's wild. And Jordan, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, if you were there now, Jordan, where would you be going to? Either the Palisade or the Eaton Fire, just to see what's to document and try to get people out, right?
I think I would have started at the Palisades Fire if I would have got there. I would have been on it all day yesterday, but I would have probably transitioned over to the Eaton Fire. It has way more the Palisades Fire is burned up to the coast, so the wind's trying to blow it into the ocean, basically. So it kind of ran out of space to work with, which is a good thing. But the Eaton Fire has not. It's just going to get blown more and more towards LA. and along that ridge that's out there. So I'd probably be on that and covering, the stories and, seeing everything that's unfolding out there.
Yeah. And we can't really tell about the house that's blurred out, which I think that's why they're blurring it out, is because it's a house, but I'm not sure why they were blurring. But this one, guys, this house looks, I haven't seen any flames. I've seen flames next to it, but this house looks like it's probably on fire at this point. So that's just wild.
It'll take a house a little bit to get cooking too. Usually you'll have an ember that'll land on the roof or somewhere flammable, or a bush next to it, and then it'll start getting so hot that eventually even something inside the house can light on fire before the exterior does, if they have like a fireproofed siding or roof. Sometimes you can get heat through those windows.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at this fire down here too, guys. What is that? Hunter, do you see the latest frame here? Is that also starting to work its way up this way, or is that coming right at the camera?
Looks like it's going, I don't want to say northeast, but it's going up and to our right, sort of following that bridge line again.
Yeah, I almost, the smoke since we've been watching this has gotten higher and higher, closer to this camera. I almost think the fire is almost spreading towards this. Oh yeah, look at that down there. It's spreading up towards the. Yikes! That is bad news.
We may need to reposition.
Yeah, we probably should.
Gotta go east.
I know. Yes, fire chasing. I think I'd be tornado chasing is probably enough for me.
No zero metering a wildfire.
Oh, come on, man.
No.
Can we
we've done it, but
wow, it's wild. It's wild stuff. Well, guys, that was all I got for this show today. We covered the winter storm. We covered the fire. We're going to probably continue. I mean, there's a lot of people that are doing really good coverage, too, of the fire right now that can, a lot of the local news and stuff like that has a lot of really good information, especially if you're there. If you are there, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And this, I think pretty confidently this house is on fire at this point. But it's a bad situation that's unfolding. And our winter storm, too, is about to be also another bad situation in the south, where we're going to get several inches of snow that's going to fall in a big-time swath from Texas all the way into Tennessee, even all the way to the coast. Some of the same areas that get hit with our storm before are going to get some snow. But Tennessee and Arkansas and Texas, where Jordan and Sierra are going down the sea, and where Dan is right now, you guys are going to get hit really hard with some good snow. So, Jordan, what's your over/under for the snow in Texas?
I would set the over/under at, I want to say, let's do 3.5. Okay. Over/under 3.5 inches. I think that's a good over/under.
For Brady, the latest update on that camera.
Wait, really?
Wow.
Come back out.
Yeah, come back out a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's just gonna be probably a matter of minutes, and it'll be in the camera.
Yeah, that's burning up the side of that hill. So
that is crazy.
Those houses up there need to be, if there's people in them, they need to be gone yesterday.
Wow. Yeah. So guys, the camera that we're looking at, literally the fire is coming right at the camera, and you've got your houses in the back. That is absolute ludicrous. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be watching this camera for a long time, I think. Wow.
Yeah, it's just taking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're about to lose. We're going to lose visibility too on our house. Now, the interesting is I still see a house right there. It looks like maybe, but fire, man. The behavior on this is just. The wind. Oh my gosh! Look at that. Wow.
They're updating it. They're updating it like every 15 seconds now.
You see how
Are they
fast
really?
that's spreading up the hill?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is getting fueled by wind up that hill.
That's extreme fire behavior.
Yes.
Absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't imagine being there. Like being on top of that hill would be absolutely terrifying.
What's this camera on? Is it up on a tower or something? Are we gonna lose it?
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think
we're
we'll
probably
lose it,
gonna lose.
thankfully. I don't think
Well,
we will.
yeah, actually, yeah, because I guess you're right, Hunter. Right, the fire's being blown to the right, so it should, in theory, keep going right. But wow, yeah, guys, that house is on fire for sure. That house is absolutely on fire. Wow.
Oh my gosh, just the latest frames are insane.
I'm trying to be to be respectful to everyone on this call, and I'm just like trying to wrap.
No.
What?
Oh, just they're updating like every 15 seconds now. You can see that giant plume going to our right now, and it's heading right for the house. Please, no.
That's a header on the fire there. That's its own head. So that's what you try as a firefighter. You try to get in front of and stop it from spreading. That's the head of the fire there, at least that part of the fire, and it's not looking too hot right now.
Oh, there's a helicopter right there now too.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Oh, there is. Oh my gosh! Look at the helicopter, guys, right there. Look at the helicopter. I thought a lot of them are grounded. That's wild.
Or are they dumping? No bucket.
No, but it does. It does. I mean, it looks like a government. It does not. It looks like some sort of government for sure. Maybe. They did just activate the National Guard in California, so that is wow. Oh my goodness.
That house has minutes left.
Oh my! And our fire is getting so tall we can't even see. We're not even able to see the house anymore, too. Wow.
That's what you can really see what happens when that fire interacts with the topography there at that ridge. How it just shoots straight up the hill.
It looks like our helicopter is like spinning around to get some more shots potentially. I don't think they're dumping. I mean, I'd be shocked if they were actually dumping things because I didn't see any water there.
They may be observing it and reporting back to like command.
Yeah, I bet you that's
exactly likely. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh! Look, it's going up the hill now. Oh my gosh! The whole hillside.
Oh my gosh.
It's every frame. Yeah, we've completely lost sight of our other house that we had. Wow. Yeah, they've got to be. You're right, Inspector Sassy. They've got to be monitoring that spread. That is erratic, absolutely erratic behavior. I don't think that is the house that's on fire. I think that's just like shooting from the flames, right? I don't believe that that's actually our house that's showing that. But that house is.
You'll know in about 30 minutes because as that gets past and burns through all the overgrowth right there, it'll leave behind whatever's going to sit and burn for a long period of time, and that's when you'll see the house.
Wow. Yeah, Hunter, make sure are you clipping some of these things because
oh yeah,
this is insane.
Yeah, I'm getting video of it.
Oh yeah, Dan. Well. Yeah, Dan, go post that. It's just absolute insanity. Wow. Well, this is my first wildfire. This is our first wildfire on stream. I didn't think that was going to be in the 2025 cards, but insane.
Are they dropping water over it? No, it's really not. No, they're just flying. They had a close flyby there.
I can't. What I can't tell
It
is
could.
I can't tell. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead, Brady.
What I can't tell is see these flames right here at the top. I can't tell if that is from this fire down here or if that ridge behind it is now all on fire. Like this ridge, right? The ridge right here, right? That ridge. I can't tell if that is now on fire or if that is just our close view of our flames. We'll have to see, because if that ridge is now completely on fire, that both of those houses are done.
Oh my!
Oh, it
kind of looks like it's going down that ridge in the few frames before the last one.
I know, doesn't it? It does.
Look at the flare up in the very back now. I don't know. That's
oh my god, guys! Wow. I got news for you. I have news for you. This flame that you're seeing, that is from that hillside. That is not close. That is absolutely from the hillside. There's the house. The house is going up in flames. This is the second house. I'm telling you, it looked like we were looking at that flame was close. That flame is that whole hill. That flame is that whole hillside that just went up in smoke because that whole ridgeline is now on fire. That entire ridgeline, including those two houses now, are now on fire. That was a massive fireball that we just witnessed. Look at that right there. That is not close. That is that whole ridgeline that just went up in flames. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. You can tell by looking. I gotta snag a clip of this just for the future because I've never seen anything like that. Ever.
Yeah, and if you come out of that here in a moment, you'll see it looks like the helicopter is maybe perhaps dropping something.
Yeah, they could very easily have water in the
Oh my gosh!
Is there like a lake nearby or swimming pools or something maybe?
Ocean.
That is absolute insanity.
Unreal imagery.
That whole ridgeline, that entire ridgeline is on fire. That was a massive fireball. That was not close. Because look at that. Now we've got this massive fire. Those houses that we just looked at, both of those are now on fire. And wow, Sierra, you called it. It was the ridgeline that was on fire. Was not close. That was the whole area.
That's crazy. Wow, look at that last frame. It's hopping up that other little hill back there.
It's moving. Crazy. It's moving against the wind. I mean, that is crazy. Absolute insanity.
It's like Jordan said, the head of it pushed through, and then the sides of it are just slowly. I mean, I don't want to say slowly, slower than the head of the fire, and they're just pushing outwards from it.
Yeah. That is. Hold on, I'm just posting something real quick because I've never seen anything like that in my whole life. That there's just not much you can do. Not much you can do but watch.
Now that I can actually pay attention, I'm going to look a little closer to this.
I know.
All of us are typing, trying to get stuff out.
I know. I just can't believe what I just saw.
I mean, we're all rooting for that house.
I just can't believe.
Has there been any fire NATO spawn from this? Some pyromesos or whatever they are that we know of in this entire event?
I've seen a ton of them on people's individual videos.
Interesting.
All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna keep pressing play here. I just need to take a quick bio break while you guys are looking at that. That whole hill is now on fire. Whole hill is now on fire.
It's just insane to see.
So the frame that I was looking at, that it looked like the helicopter was dropping something, was the 1652 frame. 1652 45 13. I don't know if anyone can see that and see what I was looking at.
Hold on.
Here, you know what? I've got it. I've got a screenshot of it.
1642 or 1652. What?
4513. I've got it here. Let me pop it up.
Here, Dan, I'm gonna pull you up. I'll be right
I
back.
see it. I see it.
So the bottom of this ridge that this camera's on is about to light on fire when you zoom out and look at the bottom left.
I see it. I just saw it. Yeah. Wow. That is
The fire is
insane.
burning into the wind. That's where the head of it's, for whatever reasons, it's going.
Oh.
It's going right to left, so you can see it. Just
So
trying
Jordan,
to-
what do you think of this? Do you think it's dropping something or no?
Ooh, I'd say so.
Because it's
I would definitely.
because it's coming from the aircraft to the.
Yeah,
the
that's
smoke on the
definitely
ground.
dropping.
Okay.
Trying to drop water on the. I think it's a last resort for those houses, is what they're
Yeah.
trying to do. Hope.
And
Yeah, I think
come
that's
back here to. Okay, we're going back to Topanga Peak, and then. This is the latest. And Hunter, Hunter, you think this is still updating more frequently?
Looks like they're just updating it every minute now.
Okay. And Jordan, what are you getting from this?
It's clearly burning through the bottom of this ravine and then burning up both sides right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing flames on the bottom left corner here soon.
Yeah. And I'm going to jump out of this real quickly, go to Topanga Peak 1 and just see what they're looking at real quickly. Okay, not much.
Wow. So, I mean, still, Dan, that smoke there was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Look at it go up! Look at it go up the side over there too. Look, okay, it goes up the middle, and then it goes up the left side too. That is, I'm telling you, I thought. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I thought that was just in front of the camera, right, Jordan? I mean, we were saying that was in front of the, like, right in front of that camera, but that was actually the whole hillside.
Yeah, that was that up close was the whole hillside, and then bottom left corner is the other was where the same hillside this camera's on, and then yeah, back on the other side of that hill's on fire too.
Oh my gosh!
Brady, you can have the full screen again.
Okay. Wow. Absolute insanity. It's burning. I mean. What? So Jordan, why is it burn? I mean, we talked about it a little bit, right? Like, how far is it going to burn? Well, it won't. Will it burn down that hill if the winds are blowing it?
It'll still burn down the hill. It just will not burn down the hill nearly as fast as it came up the hill. So
Okay.
it'll work its way down the hill. But the second it gets on the ground, it's to the wherever the wind's going to take it. But then once it finds another hill, it'll burn right up that too. So,
Jeez.
Just heartbreaking.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking, and wow. Absolute insanity. I mean, that looked like it. This just looks like something out of a movie. You can't even. Every frame just keeps.
Are you
getting worse.
zoomed in on yours on your screen? It kind of looked like our hill was on fire, maybe a little bit on the bottom left.
Let's look.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There, right down here, Sierra. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Now, I'm assuming they put these cameras in for this purpose to be able to monitor the progress of fires and everything like that. This is just a crazy tool to look at live of wow. Yeah, they are. I know. Yeah, Inspector Sassy says I'm surprised this camera still has power. I know. You would have thought. Dan, you're totally right. If you look at the time lapse of the helicopter, that helicopter is flying around and actually flew back here too. I think in that frame. So our helicopter is flying around. It does not. Didn't you say it was dumping something? Did you see it dumping anything?
Yeah, I've got a screen grab of it where it was dropping it, but in this time lapse, that frame isn't in there. So
okay. Look at that dropping. Wow.
Yeah, it definitely did a drop right over those houses when Dan grabbed a good screenshot of it. If you want to.
Oh wow. Look at the houses, guys. The houses. I think they're on. I think they're on fire.
Once those flames get to that tree line there, you're gonna start seeing big flames again. Right near your mouse, you can see it's going through the grass, and then you can see the tree line again, the big bush line.
You think it's gonna go up this? You think it's gonna go up this hill?
Oh yeah, it will.
Wow.
You're gonna start seeing big flame. Give it 30 minutes. We're gonna start having flames like that. Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. Just absolutely shoot up that hill. Guys, these 3 screenshots are like 2 minutes apart. Like, watch it literally. Okay, so this is, I think I can see this. Wait, where's it? Where's the time? Okay. Time. So that's 16. That's, oh gosh, my math. 4:53. That's 4. Wait, hold on. Oh my God. That's seconds. Hold on. No, wait, those are seconds apart, right? How often, Hunter, how often are they taking pictures again? So I'm trying to figure out how often. So this is 16:53. Are they taking pictures every like 10 seconds?
It kind of looks
Right?
like it.
It does look like it, right?
Yeah, they were updating that within that minute.
So that means that our fire, so 16:54, goes from the bottom of the hill, 1650, that's 10 seconds, to the top of that hill. It goes to the bottom of the top of that hill in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That is ludicrous. That is what we talk about when we say extreme fire behavior, and if you have a fire that can travel that speed and that time, there's nothing you can do. That's wow. Unbelievable. Well, I know what I'm going to be doing tonight. Go ahead. Where? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the latest frame, he's dumping water.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, my. And you said, Jordan, he's dumping. It looks like he's dumping on the houses, right?
He's probably trying to dump on the houses and dump on that tree line. Again, I don't think he'll end up doing anything, but he's trying at least.
Yeah. Wow.
Because the airplanes and stuff and the helicopters get called off the second it gets dark out. So these are probably the last ditch efforts before it's dark.
Do they really? Why is that?
Yeah, because when you're doing airplane drops and helicopter drops like that, it's already extremely dangerous because you have to get so low to the ground. So when you start mixing in nighttime with power lines that aren't lit, because you know how they have towers lit up for airplanes, they don't light up every power line, and they get lower than some power lines on some of those drops. So mixing that with nighttime and trees and hills and ravines, they just won't do it. They won't fly at night. So you'll see media helicopters out there at night, but you're not going to see water drop helicopters, any airplanes doing work at night. So I give it another 30 minutes and they'll probably call off all air ops for the day.
Wow. I'm actually surprised that they had air ups on. I know they grounded them yesterday. I guess hopefully the winds decreased a little bit, but I just the amount of smoke that you guys see in this shot. You have the smoke close up from all of these fires that have gone. You have this over here, this area of like big time smoke of, and then look in the background, the whole backdrop, this whole like the skyline. Those are 3 different plumes of smoke that we're looking at, and from obviously the fires are over a huge area and they're only spreading. And unfortunately, when you have the fire that goes up the hill like that, now you have this, instead of the fire just being in one line, now it's this huge, massive line that's just going to keep blowing towards the city. I'm assuming this is in the mountains. I believe all of these flames are going to be moving towards more populated areas. Yikes. I just don't know what you do, I think he dropped a second time. Yeah, he did. There's one. There's 2. Wow. Wow, that is... I'm grabbing a screen grab of that, too. That is just insane. Jordan, have you ever ridden in one of those?
I've not, no.
No. It'd probably be pretty harrowing because they gotta get really close to the ground without, and I bet some of the air currents near the ground sometimes can be a little erratic with the rising warm air that's just rising like that. I mean, wow.
Back during the Texas Panhandle wildfires, Jordan and I were lucky enough to be able to stand around with the National Park Service and all the wildland firefighters while they were back burning. While at the same time, they had those massive planes with the pink fire retardant dropping overhead. Yeah. And that was one of the most incredible operations I've ever seen. Those are, it was just full scale, chaos, controlled chaos.
Wow. The coordination for a lot of this stuff has got to just be, because it's so impressive what these people do. It's just, I can't even imagine being in that situation. Wow. Looks like at the end of the frame here, the smoke is starting to, the flames are starting really big time to get into the valley. Wow.
Seeing a lot of illegal drone flights ongoing too out there.
Yeah, I was at
a lot of illegal.
Riley Dibble calling some of that out on Twitter as well. A lot of the imagery I've seen on Twitter have been drones that you probably shouldn't be flying in some areas that they're flying in.
Well, they have TFRs up right now, don't they?
A lot of
areas.
Yeah, because that's a big crime to interfere with firefighting activity.
Well,
they
yeah,
100% are.
Wow,
insane to see people doing that.
It's 2020. It's 2025, man. Everyone has a stupid drone. Everyone wants to fly it.
I don't have a drone.
Well, me neither. Uh-oh.
I've got an antique.
Maybe Jordan will let me borrow his.
So Brady, this is what I've got pulled up. I believe this is one of the helicopters that's flying. It's a Sikorsky S-70I.
Yeah.
And then it's got its drop equipment there on the bottom.
That's 100% it. Wow. It's
what time is 23:30 UTC?
For Central, that's 5 p.m., but for Western, that's about 3 p.m.
Okay. So there's an active TFR out for that Santa Monica area for the Palisades fire from January 8th, today, until January 23rd. They put out a 15-day TFR. So
if that drone picture we were talking about earlier was taken after that time, That was probably not allowed to be flying.
I also do think they had an additional TFR out earlier today. So this was the big TFR they issued. Reason for the TFR to provide a safe environment for firefighting aviation operations. So that makes sense.
I want to I want to find the camera we're looking at. I want to find where exactly it is.
I think I've got that here. Let me.
Oh yeah, it's by Malibu.
By Malibu.
Yeah. So
It's right
Topanga
here,
Canyon. Yeah.
Here, I've got it up on my screen.
Okay.
What's
You can see
19
right
UTC?
Topanga Peak 2. Malibu should be... Yeah, here's Santa Monica. It's just west of Santa Monica, so... I'm trying to find other cameras with the fires on them, but...
1900 UTC is 1 o'clock Central, so it would have been 11 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah, there's been a TFR out all day. So any of these drone images we're seeing are people are probably going to go to jail for that.
Yeah.
Can they track that?
Oh, most definitely.
Yes. Oh yeah, because when you have a drone, you have a remote ID linked to your.
Even if you don't register it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then per Part 107 in the FAA, if you are using a drone to post a picture on social media or anywhere, it's considered commercial, which means you have to have a 107. So, and if you have a 107, your aircraft's 100% registered. So it's very easy to track that down.
Yeah, the FAA will find you.
Yeah, the FAA. Yeah, you do not. What did you say? The FAA, Dan?
Yeah, the Federal Aviation Administration.
Yeah, someone was telling me about them. It's just like you do not want to mess with the FAA. They are actually, Jordan. Wasn't it you telling me that? Or no, maybe it was someone else.
I think it was me.
So if I can bypass all this, you guys think I can get like a t-shirt cannon, strap like a 360 cam to it, and shoot it up and have like a timer on it? Get past it.
I think that is worth exploring. At least at the very minimum, that is worth exploring.
Maybe attach some fishing line to it and reel it back in when you're done.
Yes. Come find me in May.
Now you're thinking, Sierra. Now you're on. Let's go. Oh, look, guys. Last shot. The helicopter's back. Right.
Putting in work.
There. Now, can he go and get... There's no way he went and got more water. Like, is he just getting seawater?
He's probably grabbing... So helicopter isn't getting seawater. The helicopter's probably going to grab from swimming pools or a reservoir nearby. Okay. But I know some of the airplanes earlier were grabbing from just off the coast, because there's a lot of videos coming in where they have scoops. The scoopers are land in the water and scoop the water and take back off. So,
well, yeah, if you
that's
look on
where
the
sometimes you'll see fish in trees after wildfires because they'll scoop up fish on accident.
Yeah, if you look at the map of where the camera is correlated to the ocean, you're only probably about 5-10 miles away from the ocean. So for that helicopter, it only takes a matter of minutes for them to go down here, scoop up some water, and deliver it back up to where the camera site is.
It looks like there's a little reservoir off to the right there, to your right of your mouse. So
yeah, there's an Encino reservoir over there.
No, I don't understand. I don't understand how they, without a scooper, how would they get the water?
Here, they have a hose that drops down out from under the helicopter. They can. You'll see them. They'll suck water right out of people's swimming pools if they have to.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Okay, yeah. There's a bit. There's some bodies of water near there. Yeah.
Wow. And I think you can actually inside the house. I think I'm seeing some flames. If you look at the very center of the screen, see right in there. It almost looks like one of the windows. There's a little bit of a light that pops up. It might be also on like a tree or something. But I think those two houses are probably, unfortunately, done for. Look at the embers and stuff. This is that hillside that was just lit on fire. Wow. I mean that if that smoke was gone, that would look like something out of a horror movie. Just that's all that hill that was there, that's now gone, and that whole hill is now basically just wow. It's wild. It's absolute insanity. If we look at the past 30 minutes, I bet we can. Oh my gosh. I still can't get over, guys, what we just watched happen there. Now it almost, Jordan, it looks like the explosive up the hill, and now it's seeming like it's
up the hill,
stopping. Yeah.
So you can see where that helicopter's dropping.
Yeah.
That fire is right on the peak of that hill up there. So where he's dropping, that fire's not really spreading because now the wind's impact is trying to blow it the opposite direction. And it can't really burn any higher, so it's gonna stall up there. But down right below the camera in that ravine, I promise you, it's still burning through. It's cooking through there still. I'm sure. So,
well, you can look at this. Look down here. Mm-hmm. It's starting to move down the hill. Watch this. Fire goes over there. Now it's ready. It kind of stops there, but then look, watch this. Crawling down the hill.
It'll crawl down those hills.
I think the city of LA is doing a live update right now on the fires.
Yeah, that would not surprise me. Wow. Yeah, so if you are in LA right now and you're watching this, I would probably tune into that just to see what the latest conditions are and what the latest instructions are for LA. But that hill, if you, it just looks completely gone. Wow. Yeah, it's going to work its way down the hill for sure. Do I know when the peak of the winds? So I believe they actually said the peak winds were supposed to be last night, but still significant throughout the day. Let's just look at our models, because that's why we have weather models to look at. California. Jordan, you got a big day of winter weather tomorrow, don't you?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was still on mute.
Are you excited?
Ish.
I'm excited.
Yeah. See, there you go,
I
Sierra.
love winter weather.
There you
I'm
go.
from Michigan. I love snow.
I do not like the winter weather.
Thanks.
When you live in Oklahoma for a while and you're wearing t-shirts and shorts in January, you start to miss the cold a little bit.
Where did you, before Oklahoma, where did you live, Sierra?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, so yeah, you're used to that.
Yep, Brady, one of those houses was on fire.
Is it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
you can see the flames starting to increase. If you look at mine real quick. I mean, this one back here, you can. That's 100% a house. We look at earlier from like an hour ago. You can see the structure back there, and looking at live cams now, that house is 110% on fire.
Yeah, it just
that's
caught.
So
unfortunate. It looks like it just caught, right?
Within the past few minutes, you can see the initial smoke right there rising from the structure, and then just
man,
really unfortunate stuff we're seeing now.
Yeah, and it really is. And the winds, so the winds are actually this is the NAM model. This is actually right now. This is 8 p.m. Eastern. The winds, the NAM says, and the HRRR also says something similar, die down a little bit overnight, and then during the day ramp up again. And our winds, our fires are right in this region, I believe. So our winds are going to ramp up again. Look at that. I mean, I'm actually gonna put that in a GIF because that is really crazy to look at. So our winds are going to ramp up once again, and they're not going to calm down until during the day or overnight Thursday into Friday. So I think we have several. Tomorrow is also, the winds are also going to be ramped up. So we have about 24 hours or more, right? Hunter, to your point earlier, they're keeping the critical fire danger around for a couple of days. So
yeah, which I'm not sure if we would see an extension of that towards the Friday time frame, but we very well could.
Yeah. GFS, thankfully, by the time we hit Saturday and Sunday, has our winds decreasing big time here. So that's, and then Monday they have them coming back. Yikes. Oh, please don't tell me that Monday they're coming back. Yeah, I don't know if the GFS can actually forecast Santa Ana wind events, but that would not be good. That would not be good. The GFS doesn't have a big time reduction of the winds, at least for a long period of time, until the middle to late part of next week. So now I've never really forecasted for something like this, so I can't tell you whether that's going to happen or not, but really interesting.
Helicopter's making another round on top of the house that just caught on fire.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. There's our helicopter. He's back.
Pretty close to the camera, too.
Yeah. Look, I mean, guys, that's apocalyptic right there. It's just, there's no other word for it. That is...
When you see those embers light up like that, too, like that last frame with the helicopter in it,
yeah,
it's definitely getting wind pushed on it. It's like when you blow on a fire, those embers turn bright orange like that. There's probably an uptick in the wind blowing through that valley for it to light up orange like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's. It's just absolutely insane. Wow. Okay, looking at I can't tell if those houses are burned out, but those look the same as they did before.
I don't know if those are houses right there.
You don't think so?
I don't think those two spots are. I think the blurred spots to your right are houses.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right. Those probably are just rocks, maybe?
Yeah, those don't look like houses to me. Because you're seeing them further. Look down the mountain, too. Look down just a little bit. You got them down there, too. Those are rocks.
Yeah. Whoops.
But if you zoom out, yeah, that's where those houses were there. And then the smoke plume, too. If you look up if you can pause it when the smoke's gone, like towards the beginning, right there. Actually, right there is perfect. If you zoom in, right there, that area where it's blurred, and then if you zoom up just a little, or just scroll up a little, you can see all the houses on the tops of the hills too, up over.
Oh yeah.
Your mouse, yeah.
I'm tempted to say what we saw on fire there wasn't the wildfire, but it was a structure, but it may have been like a garage or something on fire. Because if you look behind the houses on the blurred, you can still see a single structure standing there. So maybe there was structure standing between the houses and that little white box we see back there.
Look at this! Look at this thing at the top right here that catches right there. That catches on fire like right there. Yeah, the blurred thing to me has to be a house because why else you're not going to just blur a rock, right? I still can't believe we watched that fire go up this hill when we completely thought it was just. We thought that fire, at least I thought that fire was like right in front of the camera. But that was just that whole hillside just poofing, going up in flames. Wow. All right. Anything else, guys, you want to cover? We've been watching this fire. It's been really interesting. It's been just absolutely insane to watch this live. Jordan, anything else from your end for about the winter weather or the fires?
I'm just waiting on the 0Z runs to come out. And as far as the fires go, it's going to be a long, not only a few days, but it's going to be a long rest of the year for a lot of these people, unfortunately. So keeping them in our thoughts and just, hoping they can get it under control.
Yeah.
Man, so Brady, I want to turn your attention. Look at the top of the screen here. You can see all that orange. I thought that was like an error on the camera. No, that's all fire in the background and the foreground as well. That's just wild to look at. You can see all that orange glow there. Now that we're going into the nighttime hours, that's all fire burning in the background. So you can see more fires here all the way up this ridge and canyon there. Oh my goodness, this is just really unfortunate stuff we're seeing right now.
Wow. There's not really any words you can say that could do it justice. Wow. It's utter insanity. Hunter, are you getting any snow with this winter weather that's coming past?
They have me getting a dusting to 2 inches, but I don't think
you'll take it. You'll take it.
I'll take it, I guess. However, I would rather not.
Hey, you just got a foot, okay? You just got a foot. I literally, while you were getting a foot of snow, I was like on the border of pure model. Like, did you see this, Jordan? Did you see the thing I posted about how the snow is literally avoiding? Snow is literally avoiding me.
I did.
I mean, you can't make that up. So you know.
It's okay. I took the curse off of you and I gave it to Pettis.
You did. You did give it to Pettis. Because look at that. Look at that. You can't make that up. I'm literally like right here. It's just to the south of me. Woohoo! Anyway, Hunter, anything else from your side from winter weather or fire that you wanted to bring up before we wrap?
I don't think so. I think we've discussed everything we need to about these two large impacting systems. One hot and one cold.
Yeah, I know. It is kind of like the song of ice and fire, like Game of Thrones. Right. Any of you guys Game of Thrones people?
No.
No? Have you ever? No? Neither of you's ever seen it?
Nope.
I tried to get Jordan into it.
Jordan!
I was watching and then we just quit watching it.
Oh, I don't know how you quit though. Right?
Ask Sierra. Quit playing it.
Sierra, are you big Game of Thrones?
I've seen a lot of the show. I've never finished it because I figured me and Jordan could finish watching it together. And I also heard that the ending's horrible, so I'm scared to watch the whole thing.
I wouldn't. I just watched up to season 8, then you're good. After that, you don't need to watch anymore. But
we have like 6 episodes left of Breaking Bad. We got to finish that too. Because Jordan's never watched it.
Yeah, I can't. That show's too depressing to me.
I could see that.
There's just not a lot of. It's not a lot of like. I get so sad after I watch it. I'm like, It's
definitely a stressful show. It's very stressful,
very stressful
watching it for the first time when you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a great show though. It's a great. I mean, it's one of the best shows out there. So. Sierra, what else from you? Any final thoughts for the crew?
No, I mean pretty much what Jordan said. I hope they can maybe have these winds die down and get a handle on the fires pretty soon. I feel horrible for the people who are seeing their homes and their cities being destroyed. So I'm thinking about them, and hopefully they can get that under their handle pretty soon.
Yeah.
But other than
Agreed.
that, I'm happy to be in Dallas to cover the snowstorm. Hopefully we'll get a few inches here, see some pretty snow.
You got to say you got to give yourself more hope than that, right? Just a few inches, be like, we're going to get hit super hard.
Yeah, at least a foot, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm taking you over.
Okay.
Dan, did you imagine a
Pettis.
foot Dallas?
I've seen it.
God.
It is not pretty.
I will say Jordan forgot to remind me to bring my hockey stick and hockey puck like he was supposed to, so I could play on any potential ice.
Oh, you guys are hockey players?
I am.
Oh, whoa! That's
Jordan's
awesome.
the football guy.
Well, unfortunately, all that Jordan knows how to do is fumble the football.
Oh,
I've never fumbled once in my career.
burn.
Jordan's
Wait, really?
D1.
No way.
Jordan's D1.
I swear on my life, like throughout high school and then a little bit of college I played, I've never fumbled.
You played D1?
I did not play D1. That's Hunter's
Oh, you should have kept me going there, man. I was gonna be like, whoa.
Look at him. He looks like a D1. He looks like he would be an all-star.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Most of our football played now is just in parking lots when we're waiting for a storm chase.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yes, Sierra, I'm a big hockey guy too. So low key, I'm just saying, if you're ever in Columbus, I play on a couple hockey teams, so we might use you.
You can get me in on a beer league. I'm down.
Absolutely. We'll get Jordan out there too. We'll put Jordan on skates and see how he
I
does.
played at a D2 school.
Oh, I mean, Jordan, you realize the percentage of people that go from high school to play at the collegiate level in general, and it's like
It's very
2%.
low. I initially had a scholarship, a half-ride scholarship to go play at Montana State Northern, but that's NAIA, and I went from like one of the best college or high school football teams in Montana to like a team that couldn't win a football game in 3 years. And I hated it. So I transferred to Shattern State, Nebraska, and then I just quit playing football because of reasons with my old teammate that had passed away, and then I got my love of storm chasing even more being in Nebraska. So that's kind of where I made my transition. So now my competitive nature in storm chasing is what I go after since I can't be competitive in football anymore.
I like that. And you know, it's too bad you weren't a college athlete now with all these NIL deals. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, you could have your pick,
right? Yeah, $6 million to go play quarterback in Oklahoma. It's crazy.
Well, not only that, but with your storm chasing side too. Loves like any of those. Like you can get a lot of NIL. There should be NIL for storm chasers. I'm just telling you right now. I think,
we've talked about that before.
Right? Why isn't there? I mean, come on. I think all the storm chasers should walk like the Ricky Bobby scene where they walk, they plaster ads all over their cars, and they plaster an ad red.
It starts with gambling. It really does, because you need money. You need money for people to give out.
Oh man. Well,
I want to be decked out in Wonder Bread.
Ooh, would you go Wonder Bread, Sierra?
Oh yeah, head to toe, Wonder Bread.
What about you, Jordan? What ad would you pick?
Celsius all day.
Celsius. Wow. My mom loves that stuff.
We
a lot of caffeine in there.
We tried to get a Celsius sponsorship last year, and they sent us a box of presents, and that was it.
Oh, wow. Well, at least you got something. I mean, that at least they're like, oh yeah, we'll send you something.
Yeah.
But
what position do you play, Brady?
Center.
Center? Okay, I play wing. Perfect.
Oh, all right. Let's left or right.
Right normally, but I'm flexible.
Okay, all right. Sierra, I'm telling you, like when I come storm chasing, and maybe if you ever, there'll probably be no reason for you guys ever to come to Columbus because, we don't ever really get any exciting weather here. But
Ohio doesn't exist.
You know what, Hunter? Don't even. Okay, Ohio against the world. Ohio. I'll say it now. No, Jordan. There's a lot of, we've got
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point.
You see how he stuttered on what they have there.
We've got. You don't have a problem parking ever. The parking is plentiful here in Columbus. Really cheap living.
I do have to pass through Ohio every time I go home. So
hey. Do you pass through Central? If you pass through Central Ohio, make sure to stop at it's called what is it called? Hot Chicken Takeover. It's really good Nashville hot chicken. Probably not as good as Nashville though. So But it's good for Columbus,
I'll grab some chicken and we can play some hockey and have a good old time.
Probably the hockey first and then the chicken, because if it's the opposite way, that'll be a big problem. But yeah.
Yeah, Michiganders get to drive through Ohio just to see how bad they could have had it before they go home.
I'm sorry. I've been coaching them on things to say against Ohio. I'm sorry.
The thing is, I don't even hate Michigan. I'm just like, hey, like they're a state above me, whatever. Like it's like they've got lakes there, they've got sand dunes. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. But
I think it's just maybe because you guys are like right underneath us. We feel like we're like trapped in a corner. Like we have to go through Ohio. So maybe it's just like the pressure or something.
Yeah, it's been brutal though the past couple years. Just hearing all the, Michigan, we're so good. It's like, gonna get you next year,
One day.
You can flex on them with water though.
Yes. Hey, you know what? Don't you plant our flag? Don't you plant your flag at our field? We're taking that off. We're taking it off. Oh man! After Baker did that, Jordan. After Baker did that, Jordan, we they weren't going to have that done again. But
everybody wants to be Baker Mayfield. I'm telling you.
They do. I love Baker. I do love him. He's he's awesome. But Dan, what about you? Any final thoughts from you, man?
Well, to Jordan's comment a few minutes ago about a foot of snow in Dallas, we had that in 2010. We don't want to see that again. My thoughts and prayers are going out to everyone affected by the fires in California. We definitely we know that they're going to have a long road back from that, and we want to be out there to help them how we can. For the folks in Dallas, it's going to be a very interesting next couple of days, and I know you'll be able to see a lot of that with Jordan's photography. So,
yeah, that's it. Definitely echo everything you said, Dan. And it is going to be a crazy next couple of days. You're right. And the new HRRR just came in, and tell you what, hold strong.
Is that the zero?
It's the zero.
What's the snow total for Dallas on that?
10.
10.
No way. Stop. It's uptrending more.
Yeah, I think so.
Sierra for the win.
Yes.
Sierra's feeling pretty good. Just saying.
What do I win?
Well, not yet. You got to wait. Because, listen, I've learned too many times here that you till it actually falls on the ground, who knows? But looking pretty good. Looking really good. Hunter, any final thoughts from you, my man?
No, I'm probably not going to be paying much attention to the snow system rather than the fire system, because I'm just absolutely fascinated by what's going on in California. I'll be checking with Jordan quite frequently to see some of his imagery coming from Dallas, and I'm really excited to see that.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm going to be following Jordan along the whole time. It's going to be amazing. Dan, you'll have to send us some pics. Hey, Jordan's a pretty good singer. We got him on tape the other day. It was yikes.
We need to do a karaoke night.
You know what? We should. We should play. We'll play out. Well, okay. We'll do that at the summit. We'll play Outbreak, and then we'll also karaoke at the same time.
Dan, you'll be at Summit, right?
I am going to be at Summit. Yeah.
Great, fantastic.
Summit what?
Crew will be there.
The Summit you're going to.
Oh yeah. I'll be there. Are you guys bowling, by the way?
They canceled the
Bowling
tournament.
was canceled.
What?
Not enough people signed up.
When did they cancel?
So today they put on I think it was today, they put out an announcement and said if they didn't have enough registrations by the 20th, they were going to cancel, but then a few hours later they canceled it.
Can we get it back if we get enough people?
I'm sure we can do like a private bowling event for those who want to go.
I think now it's the Top Golf.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Top Golf.
Yeah, but bowling is so much fun though.
Oh, my headphones are gone. What the heck? It didn't even warn me this time. Oh, I can't hear any of you.
Everybody say just Unhinged
Where
stuff.
did my headphones
Just kidding.
go?
Don't do that.
Unhinged.
What is going
Over
on?
20. I'm
Hold on,
going
let me
over
look for my
20.
headphones.
So everyone in the chat,
Screen.
spam StormCat 5 emojis. Just as
This is,
many
guys,
as you
this
can.
is a problem. This is going
No,
downhill
everybody
real
in chat,
fast.
Sam Ohio sees nothing.
See, he can't hear.
Wait.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Hello?
hey.
Nope. I can hear you. I can hear you on my TV. It's fine.
Okay.
He's
All right, guys. Well, that was fun. I had a lot of fun, and it was also crazy. And like Dan said, our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those folks being impacted by the California wildfires, because it's not a good situation. We also have another bad situation that's going to be unfolding in the south. Probably a little bit less bad than the fires, but still, nonetheless, Dallas and other portions of the south are going to get several inches of snow, and it's going to be an interesting 24 hours to 48 hours. Before we go, Jordan, tell us where people can find you, and tell us about for the next 24 or 48 hours, what's your plan for coverage and how people can watch it.
You can find me on social media, Jordan Hall WX or Storm Chaser Jordan Hall, and then we're going to be in Dallas and tracking the snowstorm throughout the Dallas metro, and maybe even up towards Texarkana. It just depends on how bad it gets here, but we're going to be doing winter weather the next few days.
And where can people find you on social?
Did you Storm Chaser Jordan Hall?
Fantastic.
Can Brady not hear us again, or is he waiting for his
I don't
TV update?
He
I
may
don't think
be.
Brady can hear us.
He may be in Brady's world.
He's muted. That's why.
Wait, what'd you guys say? What is going on? Hey, Sierra, you're up.
Yeah, so I'll be alongside Jordan covering this winter weather event down here in Texas. Usually, if you want to find me on social media, I mostly just post on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And that's just my username. Jordan knows it better than I do. I have to look every time.
Sierra_Lindsay3.
There you go.
Oh, I like it. Cool. It's electric. Well, enjoy the snow, you two. And Dan, what about you?
I've got some videos up on YouTube at Dan Wallace WX, and then sometimes I post on Instagram. It's my last name Wallace, and then DS77.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely got to plug Dan's YouTube channel. Dan's, if for anyone listening that's listening or watching this as well, I know Jordan's got a YouTube page, Dan's got a YouTube page, so make sure you check him out. Hunter, do you have a YouTube page?
I do. Just at Hunter Hurley WX.
All right, we got to check that. Got to check that out as well. Hunter, how can people find or follow you? I think probably the majority of people can probably already are following you, but how can people find or follow you for that?
YouTube, Hunter Hurley WX. Twitter, same thing, Hunter Hurley WX. Same profile picture.
That's smart, my guy. That's smart. That's how. See, I've tried to on my different social medias. I've done different profile pictures because that's just super smart. Now I think about it, but cool, man. All right. Well, go ahead, Hunter. Go.
Sierra?
No, sorry, that's me. It's Sierra.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say everybody's coming out with breaking news that there's a new fire in the Hollywood Hills.
Oh no.
In Hollywood Hills, you said?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's not good. New fire in Hollywood Hills, and this. Oh my gosh! Look at this. Look at the latest photo. Look at the latest image from our footage. That guys, that's apocalyptic. It's unreal. All right, guys. Well, that about does it for us here. Thank you. I know I said we'd only go an hour, and we went almost 3 hours. So I'm sorry, Jordan and Sierra. Appreciate you guys joining. Dan, Hunter, appreciate you joining as well. You guys were awesome. Brought some really great insights. And oops, someone asked me to do the chainsaw noise. All right, here we go. All right, that'll do it. I'll see you guys next time. Wow. Jordan, that's the chainsaw noise.
Brady, I'm clipping that for my donation noise now on my YouTube channel.
Are you ready for it? Yeah.
We're dancing. What? What?
Bumping. Not yet.
I really hope it's not delayed. What? The last time I listened to this, just on the background, it was like my voice was like a half-second delayed, so it was really bad.
I don't know what's going on.
Time to dance, everyone. Come on, Hunter. Hunter, get up and dance.
I'm dancing in spirit, man. I'm dancing in spirit.
No. I need you to dance in person. Jordan and Sierra dancing in their car. Come on.
Oh, I should really get a live dance.
What? Come on, Dan. I can see you. You better dance. Oh! Gosh, I wish you guys could have seen that in the audience. It was amazing.
That's the last time that's going to happen.
No, it's
There's
not.
a power substation in flames in DFW right now.
There's a what?
A substation?
That's doing what?
It's in flames.
Oh,
It's burning.
Yeah, it's
It's
burning.
DFW?
DFW scanner's got it on Twitter right now. But I'm like 27 minutes.
Is that going to take down the grid?
No, but it's not super great coming up to a winter event.
Gosh,
might
Inspector
go take a
Sassy
peek
says,
at
do
it."
we know these people? What do you mean? You're with us. Are you guys ready to sing high? Everyone, I want you to sing really high. Oh, go really high.